Good evening, Bulldog fans. I'm Blake Gardner alongside John McAfoose, and welcome to another midweek edition of Samford Bulldog Baseball. We're live from Jolie Griffin Field on the Carl E. Miller Press Box here in Homewood, Alabama on the campus of Samford University, and getting ready for part two of the annual two-game home-and-home series between the visitors from the capital city, Montgomery, Alabama, the Alabama State Hornets, and the homestanding Samford Bulldogs. Thanks for tuning in on the Samford Sports Network on this Wednesday evening, whether it be on FM 91.1 WVSU or on our video stream courtesy of YouTube Live. Before we get too far, let's extend a shout out over to our studios just across campus here at Samford, where Madison Browder will produce tonight's broadcast under station manager Andy Parrish and assistant athletic director for marketing and broadcast services. That is Mike Grace. Thanks to that crew and our on-site video crew here under John McAfoose, who will help make tonight's broadcast possible. This is our Regions pregame show, game one of Samford's longest homestand of the 2017 season. And John, the Bulldogs are looking for their second win in as many days to try to build some momentum coming into this upcoming conference weekend. But man, was that a game one win in the first of our double midweek yesterday up in Huntsville.
Yeah, a lot of runs, a lot of hits for the Samford Bulldogs. 31 runs scored. They won 31-1 at Alabama A&M last night. 31 runs on 30 hits, and you can kind of look up and down the Samford lineup, and they really got everyone some game action, and pretty much everybody that got into the game made an impact. 14 different Bulldogs had hits, 10 different Bulldogs with multiple hits, and 10 different Bulldogs with multiple runs driven in. So a dominating offensive performance for Samford, and some good work on the mound as well. Connor Radcliffe, 5 strong innings, allowing just 1 run, and then Kyle Stewart, Carson Cupo, Caleb Maggio, and Jake Greer combined for 4 scoreless innings out of the bullpen.
On the other side, Alabama State rolls in as the winners of 4 of their last 5, fresh off a sweep of Grambling State. And this team, John, has been very competitive in the midweek already with wins over UAB and Jacksonville State so far this year.
Yeah, Blake, certainly Alabama State, no pushover at all, and they've played a difficult non-conference schedule, which you kind of need when you play in the SWAC, which is arguably maybe the worst conference in college baseball. But they do play, as I said, a tough non-conference schedule. They've played several Power 5 schools this year, including Louisville, Maryland, Iowa. And if you look at their team stats, both pitching and hitting, very similar to what you'll see in the overall numbers of Samford. So these two teams are fairly evenly matched statistic-wise, and they played a pretty tight game earlier this year also, with Samford coming out on top on the road 10-7.
Alabama State enters play today 21-20 overall. They'll send sophomore right-hander Terrell McCall to the mound for his 10th start of the year. On the other side, Samford is going to be starting a newbie. True freshman Hamp Skinner gets the ball for the Samford Bulldogs. John making his first career start, and the Dogs are going to kind of hope he can get through the order at least once, maybe start through that second time before turning over to the bullpen, because that's one thing these double midweeks do, is they tax your bullpen a little bit. Make sure you have to use all your arms back-to-back days.
Yeah, certainly we're very likely to see a lot of different pitchers on Samford's side tonight, and as you said, Hamp Skinner making his first start. It's been a little bit of a rough season for him, the freshman coming out of the bullpen. Just 4 1/3 innings, so a small sample size, but 3 earned runs allowed in those 4 1/3 and 5 walks to just 4 strikeouts, so a 6.23 ERA, and as you said, getting his first start, and we'll see how deep he goes into this game, but you'd hope that maybe he, as you said, could get through the order one time.
So Skinner against McCall, the pitching matchup for Samford and Alabama State. Just about 11 minutes or so away from baseball here in Homewood as we continue on our Regions pregame show. Coming up, a visit with Samford head coach Casey Dunn as we talk about today's matchup between Samford and Alabama State. Then we'll take a look at today's starting lineups presented by America's First Federal Credit Union as we work our way closer to first pitch on this Wednesday night. We'll be right back as you watch and listen to Samford Bulldog Baseball.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. At Regions, every day is game day.
Back here on the Regions pregame show, time for our Nike Scouting Report down here on the first base side dugout. That's the Samford dugout as Samford gets ready to take on Alabama State this evening. And for our Nike Scouting Report, I'm joined by Samford head coach Casey Dunn. And coach, finally get back home. This is game one of a 9-game homestand. How important is this homestand upcoming for your team as you kind of hit the stretch around the Southern Conference play?
Well, it's big. Obviously we're a little behind the 8 ball, in conference right now. And, really when you look at it, kind of one game back. You're supposed to win at home. You're supposed to win 1 out of 3 on the road is what you're supposed to do. Obviously, we want more. But having get swept at Mercer and only winning a game at Wofford, we're behind the schedule a little bit. So, getting back at home, taking care of our home field, winning series, obviously that's going to be really important for us.
Talk to me a little bit about a Wofford series. Haven't talked to you since the Bulldogs made that trip to Spartanburg. Wofford ended up taking that series 2 out of 3 after earning a split of that doubleheader on Saturday. What did you see from your club over in Spartanburg, and what can you work on here in this double midweek that you get with Alabama A&M last night and Alabama State tonight?
I think the biggest thing is to get back to swinging the bats a little bit and again, getting guys out there to throw the baseball and throw strikes. That was the best thing about last night is we didn't walk a hitter, regardless of the competition or who you play, we threw strikes. And that was a big positive step for our guys. Wofford, we just didn't play well. I don't know if necessarily we played poorly, but we didn't play well. And, unfortunately that was enough to get us beat.
You mentioned Alabama State, your pitching staff, or Alabama A&M last night. Your team did not walk a hitter, only surrendered 5 runs on the pitching side, and then, of course, the bats exploded for 30-plus runs. How important was that for your offense to kind of give everybody a little bit of confidence up and down the lineup and work a bunch of different bats into a game like that?
Obviously, anytime you score that many runs, you get some help, and obviously they gave us some of that. But still, it's good for our guys. We got a lot of hits, and it was positive. We got a lot of guys at bats. We're able to make some moves, in the middle of the game to let some of the guys that haven't played a lot get 2, 3, and some of them even 4 at bats. So, that was probably the biggest thing offensively is to get some guys some at bats that haven't had them in a while.
Is it a little bit tougher to come back on a day like today? You're back here at home against another team from the SWAC, Alabama State, but this is a team that can play. These guys are perennial at the top of the SWAC conference, and even though they and Alabama A&M play in the same conference, it's definitely 2 different ball clubs. These Alabama State Hornets have been tough, and they've been tough in the midweek. Already wins over UAB and Jacksonville State so far this year.
No, and I think our guys know. This is a good baseball team. It's a physical team. They're offensively gifted, and their guys on the mound are going to compete with quality stuff and throw strikes. So it's this is a team that if you threw them into our league would be competitive. It's a good opportunity for us. It's one of the good things about playing them is you have a chance to get better. And our guys are going to have to play well tonight to be successful.
Looking at the lineup, Jordan Pusey continues to move up the starting 9. He's in the 3 hole today against Alabama State. He's had some really good numbers over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Talk a little bit about his approach and what's allowed him to have so much success as of late.
I think the biggest thing is he's just kind of coming into his own mentally. He's really swinging the bat with some confidence, swinging it with some authority. And, he's a guy we had high hopes for early in the year that got off to a rough start, but is really starting to turn it on now.
And then on the pitching side, Hamp Skinner gets the ball to start this game tonight. What's the plan on the pitching side? How much do you expect him to go? And then who do you have coming in behind him as well after Connor Ratcliffe pitched a solid 5 or 6 innings last night against Alabama A&M?
Yeah, we'll see what Hamp gives us. I don't think we have necessarily a set goal for him tonight. Obviously, it's his first ever college start, so, it may be 1 or 2 good innings or maybe it's 4. I really don't know. I think, somewhere in that 60 pitch range probably is capped just because he hasn't extended, since high school really. But we've got plenty of guys that need to throw tonight. Jared Brasher will throw, Wyatt will throw, Josh Rich will throw. Really like to get Matthew Bennett out there today. He hasn't thrown much, and he's had success when he has. So, there's several guys that I think need a little bit of work that, we'll go to after him.
Sounds like a plan, Coach. Samford, Alabama State tonight. Thanks for the time, and we'll talk to you after.
Thank you, Blake.
That was Samford head coach Casey Dunn on our Nike Scouting Report. Coming up, we'll take a look at our America's First Federal Credit Union starting lineups and then get ready for midweek baseball here at Jolie Griffin Field between Samford and Alabama State. You're listening to and watching Samford Bulldog Baseball.
Really, if you just got a stat sheet, I'll make the stats.
Canadian bacon, Italian sausage, Spanish olives. It's like having the whole world in your hands and then in your mouth.
Order the Works Pizza or any large pizza for just $12. That's right, just $12 for any large pizza. Order now at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
the left fielder, Deandra Amion. Batting seventh, the
Back
first
here at
baseman,
Jolie Griffin Field in Homewood, Alabama, time to introduce our starting lineups presented by America's First Federal Credit
Batting
Union,
eighth,
online at
catcher,
amfirst.org. We will start with the visitors from the capital city. That is Alabama State. The Hornets enter play tonight, 21-20. Overall, they're head coached by Jose Vasquez, assisted by Drew Clark and Matt Crane. Starts at the top of the order. It's an upperclassman-laden lineup for the Hornets. Junior center fielder Joseph Estrada gets things started. He's followed by freshman right fielder Cage Cox. Batting third, the second baseman and senior Carlos Ocasio. He's followed in the designated hitter spot by the second leading hitter in this club. That's the DH Gustavo Rios. Batting fifth, the junior third baseman is Ray Hernandez. Batting sixth, sophomore left fielder DeAndre Amion. Batting seventh, senior first baseman Chris Biosic. Batting eighth, the junior catcher Hunter Allen. Batting ninth, freshman shortstop Joshua Dunson, and on the mound for the Alabama State Hornets, number 28, the sophomore right-hander Terrell McCall, making his 10th start of the season. 1-4 record so far for McCall, ERA at 6.86. And now the starting lineup for the Samford Bulldogs, coached by Casey Dunn, assisted by Tony David, Tyler Shrout, and Gil Walker. The Bulldogs are 23-17 overall, entering play on this back-to-back midweek game in the last week of April. We start at the top of the order with center fielder TJ Dixon. The senior gets things started at the top. He's the Bulldogs' leading hitter in the lineup tonight. He's followed by freshman shortstop Brandon Fryman. Batting third, bumped up a couple of slots over the past couple of weeks. That's Jordan Busey, the sophomore right fielder. Batting fourth, the junior first baseman Austin Edens. He's in the cleanup spot and is followed in the 5-hole by third baseman Taylor Garris. Kevin Williams Jr. has dropped down to the 6th spot, the junior left fielder from Miami. Batting seventh is the freshman designated hitter from the Memphis, Tennessee area. That's Ayrton Schaefer. Batting eighth, the freshman catcher Anthony Mulrine back in the lineup. And batting ninth, the sophomore second baseman Troy Dixon, with left-hander Hamp Skinner set to take the mound for the Samford Bulldogs. So Dixon, Fryman, Busey, Edens, Garris, Williams Jr., Schaefer, Mulrine, Dixon with Skinner on the mound against Estrada, Cox, Ocasio, Rios, Hernandez, Amion, Biosic, Allen, Dunson with McCall on the mound for the Alabama State Hornets. Samford Bulldogs have taken the field in their home white jerseys, blue socks, blue caps, and we are just about to hit the national anthem here in Homewood. First pitch on the other side when we come back as you listen to Samford Bulldog Baseball.
Human beings can be hungry anytime they please. Maybe you messed up and didn't eat enough lunch. Perhaps dinner is very far away. It doesn't matter. Come to Arby's and solve your hunger problems with dollar sliders, cookies, small-size fries, drinks, and shakes, each for $1 from 2 to 5 p.m., not a.m. Arby's, we have the meats.
At Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
and most importantly, customer service.
We believe in treating our customers with respect and integrity while offering all the services you need for your car.
Most of all, at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers,
we believe in keeping cars on the road, keeping families safe,
and keeping you coming back whenever the need arises.
If you're entering a Division I college or university on or after August 1st of 2016, there are some new academic requirements you need to know.
First, you have to graduate high school within 4 consecutive years from the start of 9th grade. And in those 4 years, you have to pass 16 core courses.
Next, your 16 core courses must be taken in a specific area of study at a specific time during high school.
Your 16 core courses will determine your core GPA, which must be 2.3 or higher to be eligible to practice, compete, or receive an athletic scholarship during your freshman year in college.
10 of those 16 have to be taken before your 7th semester. Those 10 courses are locked in, meaning you can't retake them to improve your GPA.
You must also earn a combined ACT and SAT score that matches your core course GPA on the Division I sliding scale.
It's important to build a team that you can depend on for guidance and support. So go talk to your guidance counselor and ask them to join your team.
We all were in your shoes just a few years ago, so we know what it takes to become a Division I student athlete.
But more importantly, we know what it means to make our dreams become a reality. You can too.
Excellent national anthem from one of the Samford students on the field here at Jolie Griffin Field as we get set for Wednesday night baseball just outside of Birmingham, Alabama. It's between the Southern Conference's Samford Bulldogs and the SWAC Conference's Alabama State Hornets. It's the second straight SWAC opponent for the Dogs. They took on Alabama A&M yesterday. They take on Alabama State today as they finished off the season sweep of the Bulldogs from Huntsville yesterday. They'll try to do the same to the Hornets from Montgomery today. Weather absolutely perfect. 80 degrees and partly cloudy at first pitch with just a little bit of breeze coming in our faces right now, blowing in from dead center field as Hamp Skinner is in the middle of the diamond. He gets ready to toe the rubber as the starting pitcher for the Samford Bulldogs tonight. The 5'10", 160-pound freshman from Jacksonville, Florida, John, will make his first career start against Alabama State.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the numbers in the pregame show. This will be his 9th appearance overall, but as you said, the first start for the freshman lefty. It's been a little bit of a struggle coming out of the bullpen, but he hasn't had a whole lot of work, just 4 1/3 innings pitched, 5 walks and 4 strikeouts, a couple of hits, and 3 earned runs for a 6.23 ERA.
First appearance for Skinner in almost 2 weeks. He threw 2 scoreless innings against the Citadel in a game that the Dogs dropped 8-6, the only game they dropped in that weekend after they took 2 of 3 here at home. Before that, made appearances against Kansas, VMI, and Mercer in consecutive weekends. But this is first collegiate start. The lefty is set to go, and Joseph Estrada, the starting center fielder for Alabama State, has made his way to the box. We are just about ready for Wednesday night baseball between Alabama State and Samford. Blake Gardner, John McAfoose on FM 91.1 WBSU and YouTube Live. 6:03 our first pitch, and it's a called strike one as Skinner pours in a fastball.
And in Joseph Estrada, Alabama State's got a leadoff hitter who can hit for some power as well as 7 home runs, which leads the team.
0-1 down the heart as well. Quickly 0-2. Estrada's got some pop, 283 average to his credit as well. The 5'11 junior from Puerto Rico is a switch hitter. Only switch hitter in the lineup today for Alabama State. 0-2 on from Skinner is upstairs, runs the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Home plate umpire tonight, Tracy Cheek, is behind the dish, calling the balls and strikes. Down the first base line is Justin Beam, and down the third base line is Ricky Powell. Skinner from the full windup, 1-2 on the way, cut on and missed, and he has picked up his first strikeout of the night as Estrada goes down on 4 pitches.
A good start for the freshman lefty, and I think he got Estrada to chase one a little bit out of the zone, but you can deliver those balls out of the zone when you get ahead in the count like Hamp Skinner did there, so a good start, and now we'll face Cage Cox, who probably the best hitter in this Alabama State lineup.
Leading hitter for the Hornets, number 5, Cage Cox, the 5'10 freshman from Cairo, Georgia. Comes in with a sterling .382 average, and this is 35th start of the year. First pitch breaking ball in there for a called strike one.
Yeah, just a freshman, one of only 2 freshmen in the lineup. Not playing like a freshman at all. He's actually leading the team in all 3 slash line categories with a .382 average, 426 on base, and 579 slugging.
Fouls this one off the glove of Mulrine. It's 0-2. Setting the defense for the Dogs behind Skinner, Kevin Williams Jr. in left, TJ Dixon in center, Jordan Fusey in right, and then Garris, Fryman, Troy Dixon, and Austin Edens around the horn, third, short, second, and first. 0-2 breaking ball hit weakly on the ground left side. Garris comes up with it. His throw to first is in time to get Cox by about a step over at first base. Quickly 2 up and 2 down.
Only 7 pitches thrown there through the first 2 batters for Hamp Skinner as well. That's a really good sign for a guy who's struggled with his command at times when he's been coming out of the bullpen, but here only 2 batters, of course, but getting ahead in the count.
Safer pitching staff was excellent yesterday against Alabama A&M. Did not issue any walks, only 5 hits allowed to the Bulldogs from Huntsville. Looking to replicate that performance here at home. First pitch to the 3-hole hitter, Carlos Ocasio, is a breaking ball that stays upstairs for ball 1. Ocasio wearing number 2, the second baseman, 5'10 senior from Palm Bay, Florida. 1-0 on the way from Skinner. Check swing, pardon me, as this is fouled off first base side. Evens the count at 1-1. Ocasio has started every single game for Alabama State save 1. This is 41st start in Alabama State's 42nd contest of 2017. 1-1 Hit well, but right at Troy Dixon. He takes it on a hop and lobs it over to first in time to retire Ocasio. 3 up and 3 down. Good start for Hamp Skinner on the hill as he faces the minimum in the top half of the first. Samford Bulldogs coming to bat next on the other side of this timeout as you listen and watch on the Samford Sports Network.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. Regions, every day is game day.
Just 10 pitches for Hamp Skinner to get through the top of the first, so it'll be up to Terrell McCall to try to answer that on the mound for Alabama State. McCall taking his warm-up pitches right now in the middle of the diamond is making his 10th start of the year for the Hornets, wearing number 28, the 6-foot sophomore from Lithonia, Georgia. Comes in with a record of 1-4, ERA 6.86.
Yeah, 39 and a third innings pitched and 30 earned runs in those 39 and a third innings. Also 27 walks to 29 strikeouts, a 299 batting average against. So a little more experienced as a starter than Hamp Skinner is for Samford, but the numbers not too great so far this season for Terrell McCall.
Alabama State won the last game McCall pitched in. That was 8 days ago. A midweek win over Jacksonville State. McCall went 5 2/3, gave up 5 runs on 6 hits, struck out 3 and walked 3. As his offense gave him just 1 more than was necessary. 6-5 was the final of that game. Before that, 4 2/3 against the Troy Trojans. He gave up 3 runs on 2 hits, struck out 1, but walked 6 batters. As a strikeout to walk ratio, 29 to 27 for McCall so far this year. And he is ready to go to work. TJ Dixon striding in. It'll be Dixon, Fryman, Fusey, Eden, Scaris, Williams Jr., Schaefer, Mulrine, and then Troy Dixon rounding out the starting 9 for the Samford Bulldogs tonight. First pitch from Terrell McCall is on the outside corner. It's a called strike 1.
Can't overstate how great of a season it has been for the Samford leadoff hitter, TJ Dixon, batting .360 with a .436 on-base percentage. He's really done it all in igniting this lineup.
0-1, slap towards third. Nice play at the hot corner by Hernandez. His throw is in time to get Dixon across the diamond. And Hernandez, who is playing in on the grass, is able to snare the hard-hit ground ball and retire Dixon for out number 1.
So Dixon getting aggressive swinging early, and I mean, why not? He's been hitting pretty much everything in sight last night as well. I mean, pretty much everyone in the Samford lineup hit last night, but TJ Dixon, a 3-hit game leading off.
So Dixon retired at the top. Brandon Fryman digs in. First pitch is attempted to bunt, but it misses completely. It's 0-1. Terrell McCall pounding the zone early. 3 straight strikes to Dixon and now up on Brandon Fryman. Fryman, the freshman shortstop from Florida, digs back in and takes outside, evens the count 1-1. Fryman started every single game so far for Samford. 41 and a 41. As a true freshman, the 1-1 hit hard on the ground, just foul down the third base line. As it misses, bouncing over the bag by about 6-10 inches or so. And McCall back out in front, 1-2. McCall from the full windup, 1-2, off the plate away. Good take by Fryman. He wouldn't bite, evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fryman, 287 on the year, 48 hits, 167 at-bats as he takes downstairs for ball 3. Good approach and a good plate appearance as the counts run full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fryman trying to find his way aboard at the top of the order, like he's done plenty of times so far this season. Payoff pitch on the way from McCall, fouled off over our heads. We'll do it again. Tough light for the hitters right now with Jolie Griffin Field. Shadows encapsulating much of the infield, and have home plate, batter's box covered, but not the mound. So the ball will travel out of the pitcher's hand in the sun into the shadows. 3-2 hit well towards right, sinking, but coming on and making the play is Cage Cox. He retires Fryman for out number 2.
Yeah, I think maybe everyone's battling the sun a little bit. It looked like even maybe Cox struggled with that ball off the bat out in right field. It looked like he kind of stopped and then broke in last second to come under and make the catch. So the sun definitely affecting everyone in the field of play right now.
2 up, 2 down. Jordan Busey now with the bases empty will stride to the plate. The Bulldogs' second left-handed bat in their top 3. He takes a first pitch fastball in there for a called strike 1.
Busey has been slowly elevated up the lineup as we've progressed in this season, now up to the 3rd spot, and well-deserved as he's been red hot, one of the hottest hitters in this Samford lineup over the last several weeks. Average up to .314 now for the sophomore.
Busey has continued to show a solid approach over the last 3-4 weeks or so as the 1-1 is cut on and missed. Good off-speed delivery there from McCall to get Busey out in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hamp Skinner retired the Hornets in order in the top of the 1st. McCall 1 pitch away from doing the same to the Bulldogs in the bottom half as he misses upstairs to run the count to 2-2. Busey wearing number 25, the 6-foot sophomore from Lexington, Kentucky, trying to battle hard with 2 strikes. 2-2 on the way. Cut on and missed. McCall K's up Busey. And much like Skinner in the top half of the 1st, he faces the minimum in the bottom half. We're scoreless through 1, headed to the 2nd next. This is Samford Bulldog Baseball.
General Shale makes your great outdoors even better with big savings on its outdoor living collection. Everything you need to create your own backyard fire pit, outdoor fireplace, General Shale delivers to your home and can recommend a contractor. Or offers easy-to-follow instructions to do it yourself. Save money now on backyard fun with General Shale's complete outdoor living collection. Hurry, your great outdoors is waiting for you.
Top of the 2nd coming, 4, 5, and 6 doing for Alabama State as neither team can muster a base runner. In the 1st inning, Samford Sports Network, Blake Gardner here alongside John McAfoose on this Wednesday night in Homewood. As Gustavo Rios, the designated hitter, gets ready to work against Hamp Skinner. And the first pitch from Skinner drops in a breaking ball. That is a called strike 1. Skinner looking good so far, pounding the zone early against these Alabama State hitters. As Rios, the junior DH, slaps the 0-1 deep to center. On the run is Dixon, still going back towards the track, and he'll have room just a couple of steps in front of the wall in center as Rios gives it a ride, but runs out of room in left center. Dixon and retires him for out number 1.
Yeah, he hit that ball really as well as you could. It looked like maybe it had a chance to carry over. He really hit it on a line, but TJ Dixon, just such a great defensive center fielder, and he got a great jump on that one, able to track it down right in front of the wall.
So Rios is a very loud out number 1. Ray Hernandez now the 3rd baseman to the plate as he digs in the right-handed batter's box and takes downstairs for ball 1. Hernandez, number 25, the 6'3 junior from Orlando, Florida. One of the more accomplished Alabama State Hornets in the lineup as he takes on the outside corner to even the count 1-1. Hernandez, a first-team All-SWAC selection last year, preseason first-team selection this year. Also holds the Alabama State school record for home runs and RBIs in a single year. Put up 16 bombs and 62 RBIs last season as he finds himself down in the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Base is empty, 1 out. Skinner's 1-2 on the way. Hit well once again towards center. Dixon running back towards the track, towards the wall, and just on the track, he'll come in a step or two and make the catch. Another drive to center. With the same result, it goes F8 in the scorebook as Hernandez is retired for out number 2.
Yeah, 2 really hard hit balls by Rios and Hernandez. One in to left center and then that one into right center, and TJ Dixon gets a good jump on both of them, but really those balls were crushed by Rios and Hernandez, so fortunate break for Ham Skinner to be able to keep those in the park.
Wind's dying down a little bit, was coming in our faces, but now very little evidence of a breeze as the center field flag is mostly still out in dead center. First pitch fastball to DeAndre Amion stays upstairs for ball 1 as the 1-0 does find the heart of the plate to even it up at 1 apiece. Amion wearing number 1, the 5'10 sophomore from Cutler Bay, Florida, starting left fielder for Alabama State. And he's down 1-2 as he fouls off that breaking ball.
Another guy with good numbers coming into this game as well. 311 average, 391 on base. It's a pretty productive lineup for this visiting Alabama State team.
1-2 on the way from Skinner. Breaking ball. Moran can't keep it in front, and Amion's able to hold back his swing. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the first batter that has reached into or earned a 2-ball count against Ham Skinner so far through the first 6 batters.
Skinner's worked ahead of everybody he's seen so far. 2-2 fouled over our heads. We'll do it again.
Been working very quickly and efficiently and pounding that strike zone and not really throwing anything inside or outside.
2-2, breaking ball, hit well towards right. Busey going back towards the right center field gap. Leaps, can't get it. It's over his head towards the wall. Headed to second is Amion. He's going to cruise in with a 2-out extra base hit as he is the first base runner for Alabama State, really for either side this evening. Amion is credited with his 5th double of the year.
Yeah, and when your team's continually hitting the ball that hard, some of them are going to start to drop in, and now we've seen 3 really hard hit balls. One from Rios, one from Hernandez, and that one from Amion, and that one does fall in as it gets over the head of Jordan Fusey, who made a good effort, tried to make a leaping backhanded grab towards the wall, but unable to track that down, and so the first runner of the game finds himself in scoring position.
So Amion at second, and that RBI chance is going to fall to Chris Biosic. First pitch on the way, fouled off right side, out of play. It's 0-1. Biosic, the first baseman, 6'3" redshirt senior from Rockledge, Florida. Was a all-SWAC preseason first-team honoree. So far, 12 RBIs in the year for Biosic. His 13th would get out of Alabama State a 1-0 lead as this is fouled off as well. It's 0-2. Biosic 31 hits and 100 at-bats so far this year. Aforementioned 12 RBIs, 400 hitter with runners in scoring position so far this season. And over a third of his hits on this 2017 campaign have come with 2 outs. 2 away with a runner on second in the top of the second. Skinner out front, the 0-2 on the way is fouled to right side. And we'll do 0-2 again. So far for Ham Skinner, 25 pitches deep. He's poured in 20 strikes.
Those are impressive numbers. You just want to be careful not to catch too much of the plate, which I think he's done a couple of times this inning. And Alabama State, a team that can take advantage of that if you make a mistake over the middle.
Turn and spin to second to make sure Amion doesn't get too big of a secondary down there. As Fryman, the shortstop, flashes the signs to Skinner on the mound. Trying to put away Chris Biosic. And a plus-plus count for Ham Skinner. It's 0-2. Skinner from the stretch comes set. 0-2 off the plate and up. It's 1-2. Biosic in the 7-hole tonight. He's followed by Hunter Allen and Joshua Dunson. 28th start of the year for Biosic. one of 2 seniors in this lineup. 1-2, foul tip. Was it caught by Mulrine? Home plate umpire says it was not. And it looks like no one else is going to overrule him. Mulrine trying to catch the foul tip, and it looks like he might have gotten a piece of the dirt first.
Yeah, he seemed pretty convinced that he did catch that foul tip, and in fact, looked like the entire Samford infield thought the same as Fryman and Troy Dixon started heading back towards the dugout, but we'll do it again.
So Biosic just barely stays alive. Count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Skinner a look at second, one more look at second base. Now comes home, 1-2 in the dirt. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scoreless ball game so far. First base runner for either side is DeAndre Amion. He's at second base, 1 on, 2 out. Deuces wild with a 2-2 count in the top of the second. Skinner gets a sign he likes from Mulrine. 2-2 coming home is downstairs, ball 3. First base open with Hunter Allen, the catcher, awaiting on deck. First 3-ball count of the evening for Samford starter Hamp Skinner. 3-2 coming. Hit hard on the ground towards second. Dixon gets a nice big hop, gobbles it up. His throw to first in time as Amion is going to be left on the base paths. 2-out hit is stranded right there on the bases by Hamp Skinner. Alabama State is scoreless in the top of the second. We head to the bottom of the second next on the Samford Sports Network.
Meet Pete and Paul. Twins so much alike, friends call them Pete and repeat. But Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama treats them as individuals. Each gets a health insurance plan designed to meet his specific needs. One is a self-employed entrepreneur, the other working for a large company. After all, no 2 customers are alike, especially in Alabama. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you.
These are the student athletes. This is where they train. These are their homes. This is where they become Rhodes Scholars and academic All-Americans. These are the athletes they've always admired. This is where champions are crowned and moments are made. This is the Southern Conference.
Back here on the Samford Sports Network, Blake Garner, John McAfee, Samford fans, let's all extend our congratulations to Samford pitching coach Tyler Shrout and his wife Lexi on the newest addition to our Bulldog family. That is Bryson Myers Shrout, born yesterday. Mom and son are both healthy. And I know the Samford baseball family, but Samford Nation for sure is absolutely pumped for Tyler Shrout and his family. Congratulations on the birth of Bryson Myers Shrout. First pitch on the way to Edens, hit hard through the left side, clean single. Austin Edens gets Samford's offense kick-started with a leadoff hit in the bottom of the second.
First hit of the game for the Bulldogs, and for Edens, I'm sure that one feels pretty good. A guy that's really trying to get going and find his groove at the plate again, and a guy that Samford really needs to get going to maybe try to make a run once they hit the Southern Conference tournament.
41st hit of the year for Austin Edens. He's aboard at first as Taylor Karras strides in. Karras with the highest average on this Bulldog club, 370 coming into play tonight. 37th start of the year for the freshman third baseman. And he's hacking. First pitch drive towards center. On the run is Estrada towards the right center field gap, and the wind holds it up. He makes the catch, and Edens is forced to retreat back to first base.
Bulldogs certainly being very aggressive in the batter's box in the early going tonight. We've seen a handful of first pitch swings already and just in the second inning.
Kevin Williams.
Terrell McCall has needed just 16 pitches so far through the first 5 Samford hitters he's faced. Kevin Williams Jr., the left fielder, ready to get his first look at Terrell McCall, with Austin Edens awaiting over at first base. Williams Jr. digs in. First pitch on the way is off the plate away, ball 1.
Williams Jr., another guy that's cooled down a little bit at the plate, still the biggest power threat in this lineup with 11 home runs and a .542 slugging mark that both lead the team.
The 6-foot junior from Miami, Florida. Takes in there at the knees, evens the count 1-1. Plenty of pop out of the 6-hole from Kevin Williams Jr. As the 1-1 is fouled off the catcher, Hunter Allen. He'll take a moment to get his bearings as he wore that one off the chest, I believe. Runs the count to 1-2. Two hits on the weekend for Kevin Williams Jr. when the Dogs went to Wofford. One on Saturday, actually both on Saturday, with the 2-game doubleheader the Bulldogs played in Spartanburg. 1 for 4 in game 1 and 1 for 3 in game 2 as the count runs to 2 balls and 2 strikes after the breaking ball misses downstairs. McCall working from the stretch. 2-2 on the way. Williams Jr. swings but comes up empty, and Terrell McCall has strikeout number 2 of the evening.
And that's really been the biggest issue for Williams at the plate so far this season, are just the contact issues. That strikeout number 47 for the junior left fielder and 154 at-bats.
So Williams Jr. down on strikes. He's out number 2 of the frame. Austin Eden's leadoff single has kept him hog-tied to first base. Ayrton Schaefer to the plate now, takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Schaefer, the freshman designated hitter, hitting in the 7th spot tonight. 1-0 is off the plate away. 2 balls and no strikes. Schaefer wearing number 13, the 6'2 freshman from Houston High School in Collierville, Tennessee. 1 for 2 in yesterday's contest against Alabama A&M. To go along with a run scored. 2-0 is downstairs, ball 3.
For Schaefer, this is 23rd start, and we've seen some rotation in that designated hitter spot for Samford. As you said, started last night as well before Ryan Crockett replaced him. Crockett had a big game as well.
Schaefer takes a fastball to run the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. 3 games in a row Ayrton Schaefer has appeared in and come away with a hit. 7 of his last 8 he's hit safely as well. Hitters count for sure with McCall set to deliver a 3-1. It's downstairs, ball 4. Schaefer draws a 5-pitch walk, and Austin Edens will trot on down to second base. 2 on and 2 out with catcher Anthony Mulrine coming to the plate. Anthony Mulrine, the 6'2 freshman from St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Davie, Florida. Making his 32nd start tonight. And much like Alabama State had an RBI chance in the top of the second, Samford has one with 2 away in the bottom of the second. Edens at second and Schaefer at first as Mulrine digs in to face McCall. First pitch is hit on the ground towards third. Hernandez off to his left, fields it, and taps third base on his way to the dugout, inning over. Dogs leave him on the base paths, and McCall escapes the jam. Both teams scoreless through 2 as we head to the third next on the Samford Sports Network.
I think we should have taken a left at the river.
Tarzan, no. Where Tarzan go?
Tarzan does not know where Tarzan go. Hey, excuse me, do you know where the waterfall is? Waterfall?
No. Me, Tarzan. King of jungle.
Why don't you want to just...
If you're a couple, you fight over directions. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
You have to do that right in my ear.
Have a player or coach throw out the first pitch and then run the bases after the game and meet the Bulldogs. Spots are available for a number of
Samford fans up next for Samford baseball, a weekend Southern Conference series with the Catamounts from Western Carolina. Friday's game starts at 6, then 2 p.m. on Saturday and 1 p.m. on Sunday. That's a 3-game set with Western Carolina coming up this weekend, as those are the first 4 games, counting this one, of this Samford homestand. They'll take on UAB in next week's midweek game here at home. And a 3-game set with the Furman Paladins, then the Alabama Crimson Tide. Long homestand for Samford baseball, their longest of the year. Tickets available at sanfordsports.com/tickets.
And that UAB game will be a good crowd, not only because of it being UAB, but also the money drop game, always a big event.
Hamp Skinner's worked up 0-1 as this is popped up. Shallow right field. Fusey coming in, and he'll call everybody off that's racing out towards right and make the catch on the can of corn. Hunter Allen, the Alabama State catcher, is retired as out number 1 in the top of the third.
When we talked pregame about how it would be a big positive if Skinner can get through the order one time, and he's about to do just that as Joshua Dunson, the 9-hole hitter, steps to the plate. And it's been quick and efficient work from Hamp Skinner. Only 1 3-ball count issued through the first 8 batters.
9-hole Dunson shows bump, but pulls it back and takes a called strike 1. Skinner out in front once more. As he is faced now, this is 9th batter of the day. This on the ground towards first. Edens comes up with it and takes it to the bag at first to retire Dunson. Nice play on the hard hit ground ball to his glove side.
Yeah, quick reaction time there from Austin Edens, and we've really seen him make some stellar plays over at first base this season, and that's something we didn't see a lot of last year. As he spent most of his time as the designated hitter, but he's kind of transitioned into the full-time first baseman this year, and he's really been excellent defensively for Samford.
One time through the order, back to the top we go with Estrada, the leadoff man, and he takes a first pitch fastball for strike 1. Estrada, a strikeout victim on 4 pitches in his first time facing Hamp Skinner. Only strikeout recorded for Skinner so far this evening as the 0-1 misses down and in. Last year, Joseph Estrada started 5 games, played in 26, hit just 176 and 34 at-bats. So far this year, 28 hits and 100 at-bats as this is chopped left side and foul. At the count now 1-2. So Estrada certainly making some strides in this Alabama State lineup. 1-2 on the way from Skinner. Hit hard, but well foul off the Pete Hanna Center brick. Count will remain 1-2. Here at Samford, Pete Hanna Center to our right, Cyber Stadium to our left. Pete Hanna Center home to Samford men's and women's basketball, Samford volleyball. Cyber Stadium to our left, home to Samford football. 1-2 from Skinner, hits him. Estrada wears a fastball off the back of the leg. And Alabama State, for the 2nd consecutive inning, will have a 2-out base runner.
Yeah, tried to bury one low and inside and just brings it in a little too much as it hits either the calf or foot area of Joseph Estrada.
Estrada is hit for the 6th time this year. And he finds his way aboard. He's at first. Cage Cox will get an opportunity with 2 outs.
And Blake, you mentioned the Pete Hanna Center and the court right now getting redone with the new logo and coming along very, very nicely right now.
I like the look, John. I like the look.
Looks good. Looks good.
Skinner from the stretch. First pitch breaking ball, and Cox probably could have swung twice. He was that far out in front. It's 0-1. New Samford logo will be right in the middle of that new court. And judging on the outline we've seen so far on social media, it's going to look splendid. Skinner from the stretch. Long look at first, comes home. The 0-1 is on the outside corner and quickly out in front once more. Hamp Skinner is 0-2. Cox, a ground out victim to Garris, down at third in his first at-bat. 2nd straight hitter. Hamp Skinner 1 pitch away from working out at the top of the 3rd. 0-2 delivery coming just off the plate. Runs the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cox, a 379 hitter after the ground out, 58 hits and 153 at-bats. That is the team lead. 1-2 from Skinner. Breaking ball waved at, and Skinner picks up strikeout number 2 of the night. Inning over as Alabama State leaves a runner aboard for the second straight frame. We head to the bottom of the third next on the Samford Sports Network.
The road to Omaha begins in Greenville, South Carolina. The Southern Conference Baseball Tournament comes to Fluor Field May 23rd through 28th. Enjoy some great college baseball with a trip to the NCAA's on the line in a city the New York Times calls one of the top places to go in 2017. Get your tickets to the tournament and book your rooms in that Greenville today. Experience the games. Explore the city.
Samford fans, Samford's softball season is winding down. Up next, a non-conference doubleheader this Saturday at Georgia Tech. Game time set for 2 and 4 o'clock Central Time. Then the Dogs wrap up their Southern Conference schedule the weekend of May 6th and 7th at Western Carolina. That's a Saturday twin bill and a single game on Sunday. For details and updates, follow Samford Softball on Twitter at SamfordSB. And for game previews, recaps, media links, and more, visit the online home for the Bulldogs. That is SamfordSports.com. Troy Dixon takes the first pitch fastball, and it's in there for a called strike 1 to start the bottom of the third.
Dixon's another guy in the Samford lineup that has started to really heat up, average up to 270 now. And credit to the coaching staff, really. They've never really wavered from keeping him as an everyday player, even when he kind of got off to a slow start. They know what the kind of high school player he was and the kind of potential he has.
0-2 rolled over right side. Ocasio can't come up with it. He boots it. It's going to be an E4, and Dixon's going to be allowed to reach.
So we've seen Dixon move around in the lineup throughout the season, but he's been consistently in there as a starter. He's started all but 2 games for the Bulldogs, and now he's aboard to start this third inning on an error.
Dixon's got some speed, 5 of 6 on the base paths this year. And from one Dixon to the other, back to the top of the order we go. TJ Dixon, the Bulldogs leadoff man, will get his second look at Alabama State starter Terrell McCall. Troy Dixon at first, TJ Dixon at the plate. The Dixon at first with a good lead, and they'll throw over to keep him there. Hernandez over at third, well in on the grass at third base. Guarding a potential bunt attempt off the bat of TJ Dixon. McCall from the stretch and turns and fires to first once more.
Both Dixon brothers with plenty of speed. Troy standing over at first base is 5 for 6 in the stolen base department.
McCall's through the order one time, 30 pitches to get through the order as Dixon tries to steal second. Throw down is not in time. Troy Dixon swipes his 6th bag of the year as the fastball missed outside for ball 1.
Good throw from Hunter Allen, and on line just maybe a little late, maybe a touch high too. I think maybe if he throws that a little closer to the bag, Alabama State might get Troy Dixon, but a successful steal and now a runner in scoring position and nobody out. Big chance here for the Bulldogs in the third.
One Dixon in scoring position, the other with a chance to knock him in. McCall turns, spins towards second as both corners are drawn in. Hernandez and Biosic aggressively in on the grass. TJ Dixon digs in, awaiting the second delivery from McCall. 1-0 is off the plate, away ball 2. Dixon, despite hitting out of the leadoff spot, has been one of the Bulldogs' best hitters with runners in scoring position so far this year. 477, a large reason why he has picked up 27 RBIs out of the leadoff spot. And he is well out in front here. The first 3 pitches from McCall have all missed away off the plate. 3 balls and no strikes. McCall trying to find the zone against Dixon. 3-0 on the way. That does find the zone. It's 3-1. Brandon Fryman awaits on deck. But Samford has a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. 3-1 for McCall. Fouled off left side, out of play, and the count will run full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good battle back from McCall to avoid giving away the free pass thus far, trying to take the long road back from 3-0 to try to get his man. McCall from the stretch. Payoff pitch coming. Hit well towards right. On the run is Cox going back to the track. It one hops the wall. Dixon's going to run. He's going to have 2 bases with ease. Troy Dixon getting the wave around third. He's going to score without a throw as the Dixons trade places, and Samford's on the board. They lead 1-0.
Yeah, TJ there just ropes one down the right field line. You could tell it was definitely going to be fair off the bat. The question was whether it was going to get over that short porch out in right field. It doesn't quite get over the wall, but nevertheless a stand-up RBI double for the elder TJ Dixon, as the younger Troy Dixon comes around to score. And 1-0, Samford up now.
Credit TJ Dixon with RBI number 28 on the year and his 9th double of the season. He's at second with nobody out now, but Samford on the board, 1-0 as the meat of the order is coming to the plate for Samford. It starts with a 2-hole Brandon Fryman. Corner still in, guarding against a potential bunt attempt from Fryman. McCall comes home, first pitch up as the throw down to second to try to pick off Dixon. Had him, and throw to third is not in time as TJ advances to third on the throw down.
Yeah, good decision there from TJ. He saw as soon as that ball was released out of the hand of Hunter Allen going to second, he immediately made the decision to just go all out for third and ends up sliding into third fairly easily.
Not a bad throw from behind home plate by Allen. They did have Dixon with a bit too big of a secondary down at second. But Dixon's speed able to win the day. He takes third, and he's probably going to score as Fryman lifts one into shallow right center. It falls in for a hit. Brandon Fryman picks up RBI number 23 of the year, and Samford has scored 2 in the frame, now make it 2-0 Bulldogs.
Yeah, a little bloop in a shallow right, and Brandon Fryman will take it. Seeing the ball a little bit better out of the hand of Terrell McCall here in the third inning.
The inning started with an error against Ocasio. Now back-to-back hits from TJ Dixon and Brandon Fryman, and that draws a visit to the mound out of the Alabama State dugout, as McCall will get a visit. No action down the left field line as McCall just 38 pitches deep in this start. Samford has broken through though. They lead 2-0 as the first 3 hitters of the inning have all reached base. Jordan Busey, a certainly dangerous bat, is headed to the plate as McCall tries to recompose himself. Inning didn't get off to a great start with the error behind him. Next couple of balls were both hit fairly well. As Fryman is the man at first, Jordan Busey gets his second look at the Alabama State starter, Terrell McCall. First pitch to Jordan Busey will be pitch number 39 of his stint thus far. Fryman dives back in off the pick attempt. Head coach for Alabama State is Jose Vasquez in his first year, taking over from Merrill Melendez. Busey shows bunt, pulls back, runner going, throw down is not in time to get Brandon Fryman. In fact, he might have been a little short of the second base back, as Dunson was trying to race over and cover. Credit Brandon Fryman with stolen base number 6 of the year.
So we've seen Samford be aggressive at the plate in the early going here tonight, and now also being very aggressive on the base paths.
Certainly testing the arm of Hunter Allen behind home plate. 1-0 to Busey, sky towards the left. Going back is Amy on, now working his way towards the line and now in. He makes the catch. His throw to the cut will keep Fryman from thinking about tagging and going second to third as Busey is retired for the second time tonight. So Busey's out number 1. Austin Eden's now with an RBI chance with Fryman out at second base.
The Bulldogs first baseman, Austin Eden.
Eden's already with a hit against Terrell McCall so far tonight. One of 3 Bulldog hits. This is popped up, shallow right. On the run is the right fielder, Cox. He makes the catch towards the line. Once again, Fryman not able to tag due to the shallow fly ball. And back-to-back fly balls from Fusey and Edens resulted in 2 quick outs.
Yeah, and more of that same aggressive approach. Now Edens has had 2 at-bats and seen 2 pitches and put both of them in play.
The third baseman, Taylor Garris.
One more chance for the Dogs to add on here in the bottom of the 3rd as the baton falls to Taylor Garris, freshman third baseman from Sarasota, Florida. McCall misses outside with the first delivery to Garris. It's ball 1. Garris 2 hits and 3 at-bats in a game yesterday in Huntsville against Alabama A&M. Also collected 3 RBIs on a couple of extra base hits as the 1-0 is fouled back to the screen to run the count to 1-1. Garris has hit safely in 4 of his last 5. Had 3 hits this past weekend against the Wofford Terriers. 2 of those came in the opener of the series on that Friday night in Spartanburg. Average was at 370 entering play today. Garris has been a 390 hitter with 2 outs so far this year as the 1-1 misses well outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sun has continued to set here at Samford, and almost all the field now either engulfed in shadows or at least a little bit darker as the breeze has picked up again, blowing back into our faces. 2-1, that's on the outside corner, according to home plate umpire Tracy Cheek. And the count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs, with the Dogs already having plated 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. Fryman takes his lead from second. 2-2 on the way. Breaking ball rolled over, but foul. Well, 2-2 again. RBI hits from TJ Dixon and Brandon Fryman have gotten the Dogs on the board in the frame. Taylor Garris trying to join them with the Dogs' 3rd RBI hit of the frame. 2-2 once more off the plate, ball 3. Kevin Williams Jr. awaits on deck as Terrell McCall tries to avoid issuing his 2nd free pass of the evening. McCall from the stretch comes set. Payoff pitch on the way, and it's off the plate away. Ball 4. Brandon Fryman will stay put at second. Taylor Garris will trot on down to first, drawing his 10th walk of the year. 2 on and 2 out. And a big spot early on for Kevin Williams Jr.
Samford really making McCall grind a little bit more here in the 3rd inning, and McCall really not helped out by his defense either, as that error to begin the inning from second baseman Carlos Ocasio has really hurt Alabama State this inning. Not only did that account for the first run, but it's really made the inning continue longer than it would have.
Dogs with 2 hits in the inning, but also the aid of that Ocasio error. First pitch to Williams Jr. sliced into right. That's going to fall in fair. 1 run's going to score as it rolls towards the corner. Williams Jr. digging for second. And it looks like Garris is going to get the stop sign at 3rd. It's an RBI double for Kevin Williams Jr. Samford's lead is extended once more. It's 3-0 on the 31st RBI of the year for Kevin Williams Jr.
Yeah, not waiting around, seeing a pitch he likes right off the bat and taking it the opposite way. And now Samford putting together a very big inning here in the 3rd. And again, that error, we talked about how much it hurts. Now it really hurts as not only did it account for the first run, but it's just keeping this inning going is easily could have been just 1-0 heading into the 4th if not for that error by Ocasio to start the inning.
Schaefer digs in. He takes upstairs, ball 1. 2 runners in scoring position with Garris at 3rd and Williams Jr. at 2nd. And now 3 runs on the board for the Bulldogs the inning. Only 1 of those is earned. 1-0, that's in there, evens the count 1-1. McCall now over 50 pitches as we play in the bottom of the 3rd. Schaefer drew a walk in his first plate appearance back in the 2nd. He takes downstairs right here to make it 2 balls and 1 strike.
It feels like Roughly half of McCall's pitches have come here in this third inning.
It's not far from the reality of the situation. 2-1, big cut from Schaefer, but he comes up empty. Count is now 2-2. Schaefer 22 hits and 82 at bats, looking for hit number 23 that would likely drive in a pair. 2-2, fouled straight back. And we'll do deuces once more. McCall working out of the full windup with runners at second and third. 2-2 coming home. Hit well towards center. On the run, Estrada going back towards the track. Looks up, and it's off the wall. Schaefer misses a home run by give or take 1 or 2 feet. He cruises into second with a 2 RBI double to give Samford a 5-0 lead.
And that one just barely missed getting over. And Samford really seeing the ball well now out of the hand of McCall, as they now have their 9th batter of the inning up in Anthony Mulrine. A lot of hard hit balls this inning for the Bulldogs.
Schaefer just missed what would have been his 6th home run of the year. Here at Jolie Griffin Field, the outfield wall is all green with a big yellow stripe at the top of the wall, and that laser hit the top of the yellow wall just left of the 390 sign in dead center. So Schaefer's at second. Mulrine steps in and takes downstairs for ball 1. And now there will be some action down the left field line as Alabama State will get the bullpen up and working. (1-0) to Mulrine. Misses downstairs. Count 2 balls and no strikes. And definitely laboring here is McCall.
Yeah, and he's got to be a little bit frustrated about how this inning is played out with 4 of these runs being unearned right now. At the same time, really, you got to be able to pick your defense up when they make a mistake and try to make better pitches, and he's been unable to do that.
4 hits for the Dogs in the frame. You mentioned this, the 9th hitter of the inning for Samford, as they've put up 5 runs here in the bottom of the third. 2-0, that's on the outside corner, make it 2-1. Mulrine trying to join the hit parade and snap what has been an 0 for his last 8 after a multi-hit game in the first game of the series against the Wofford Terriers last Friday. Takes another fastball outer half, and the count's even. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, if you didn't follow along with Samford's game last night, this current inning is very similar to how things went for the Samford offense, only they did it in just about every inning last night.
2-2, shallow right field down the line. Biosic, the first baseman, going out, calls for it, and just in foul territory, makes the catch as Mulrine's retired for the 2nd straight plate appearance. But the Dogs pick up 5 runs on 4 hits and pick up the aid of an error as well. They send 9 hitters to the plate and take a 5-0 lead into the top of the 4th. This is Samford Bulldog Baseball.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. At Regions, every day is game day.
Human beings can be hungry anytime they please. Maybe you messed up and didn't eat enough lunch. Perhaps dinner is very far away. It doesn't matter. Come to Arby's and solve your hunger problems with dollar sliders, cookies, small-sized fries, drinks, and shakes, each for $1 from 2 to 5 p.m., not a.m. Arby's, we have the meats.
Samford Athletics Hall of Fame.
Freshman lefty Hamp Skinner was making his first collegiate start tonight. Samford head coach Casey Dunn and his staff have to be pleased with the results, as Skinner threw 3 scoreless innings of 1-hit baseball, struck out 2 and did not walk anybody. Threw 32 strikes in the 43 pitches that he's slung in the 3 innings that he pitched this evening. Dogs will turn it over to the bullpen now. It'll start with number 21, Jack Rude. The 6'4" sophomore from Houston High School in Memphis, Tennessee will be called upon first.
First reliever for Samford. It'll be his 10th appearance of the season, 7 1/3 innings pitched for Jack Rude, 9 hits and 6 runs, all earned, allowed, 8 walks and 5 strikeouts, a .360 batting average against, ERA at 7.36 for the righty.
4th appearance of the month for Jack Rude. Last appeared a couple of weeks ago in the midweek game against the Auburn Tigers. Before that, threw an inning in the Mercer Series as well. Top of the 4th, Blake Gardner, John McAfoose, and I will toss the play-by-play duties over to my partner for the middle frames. John?
Thanks, Blake. Carlos Ocasio will lead things off here in the 4th for Alabama State. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters as the first pitch is in there for a called strike from Jack Rude. Ocasio followed by Rios and Hernandez. Ocasio hit a ground ball, a sharp hit ground ball to Troy Dixon back in the 1st inning in what was his first at bat of the game. 1 pitch, just a little bit low and outside, count even at 1-1. You mentioned Hamp Skinner, a nice performance for the freshman lefty. Certainly Casey Dunn and his staff going to be happy about that. 3 scoreless innings, just 1 hit allowed, no walks, and a couple of strikeouts. 1-1 pitch swung on and missed.
Big cut there from Ocasio, trying to maybe atone for the error that he made in the top half, or the bottom half of the 3rd, I should say, that allowed that Samford offensive inning to continue.
Certainly the biggest play of the game right now would be that error, as that easily could have been just a 1-0 lead. And this one is swung on and missed. And so Jack Rude begins his appearance with a strikeout of Carlos Ocasio.
Good pitch from Rude. He's a big kid who's got a really steep breaking ball, and he showed it a couple of times to Ocasio right there. Got him to chase out of the zone. And Rude picks up strikeout number 6 of the year for him.
Gustavo Rios, the designated hitter, steps back to the plate. He hit a very hard hit fly ball into deep center field. That was tracked down by TJ Dixon right in front of the wall back in the 2nd inning. And here he swings to the first pitch, pops it very high in the air. Eaton's going back at the edge of the dirt and makes the catch in very shallow right field.
Good start for Jack Rude. Induces weak contact off the bat of Rios, and knew he was going to face the bigger bats in the lineup for Alabama State, and so far has been able to locate. Got Ocasio to extend out of the zone and worked off the plate away, and got Rios to pop up as well.
The 3rd baseman, Ray
Hernandez 0 for 1. He also hit a very hard hit deep fly ball to center that TJ Dixon tracked down. That 2nd inning, the hardest contact certainly that Alabama State had against Hamp Skinner. They did get a double off the bat of DeAndre Amion. And this one is roped into left. Kevin Williams Jr. going back. It's over his head. It's over the wall. A solo home run for Ray Hernandez. A line drive shot over the fence, and he got all of that one.
Credit to Hernandez. 2nd time in as many at-bats that he's been able to make really solid contact. A guy that must be seeing the ball very well. And they don't make home runs to get out of the yard much quicker than that. There was no fly ball trajectory about that one. That was a laser that sneaks over the left field wall for his 5th long ball of the year.
That ball hit on a line, and I think everyone here knew off the bat that that one was going to get out of here. Kevin Williams turned and took a few steps towards the fence and knew that one was going to get out. So on the board now is Alabama State with their first run of the game. They still trail 5-1 here in the top of the 4th. There's DeAndre Amion, who has the only other hit. Skies one into center field. Coming in left center is TJ Dixon, and he will make the catch, and that will retire the side here in the 4th. Alabama State does get on the board with a solo home run from Ray Hernandez, but they trail the home team. Samford leading 5-1. You are watching and listening to Samford Baseball.
Canadian bacon, Italian sausage, Spanish olives. It's like having the whole world in your hands and then in your mouth.
Order the Works Pizza or any large pizza for just $12. That's right, just $12 for any large pizza. Order now at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Back at Joe Lee Griffin Field for the bottom half of the fourth inning. Samford leading Alabama State by a score of 5-1. And much like Samford did in the top half of the inning, Alabama State will now make their first pitching change, and it's the senior righty, John Robles.
Robles, the 6'3" senior from Roland Park, Kansas, a JUCO transfer, went to Johnson County Community College for a season or two before coming over to Alabama State as a junior last year in 2016.
He faces Troy Dixon, who rolls one to short. And almost beats it out, but not quite, as the ball is fielded and thrown over in time from Dunson.
Robles' numbers 0-1 record entering play so far this evening. 21 innings pitched, 17 earned runs on 26 hits. He struck out 14 and walked 11. ERA a very ugly 7.29. In large part because he's surrendered 7 extra base hits, including a couple of home runs.
TJ Dixon back to the plate for the third time as Samford begins its third run through the lineup. Grounded out to third and then stroked a double down the right field line to drive in his brother for the first run of the game. Here he shows bunt. Does not make contact. Count even at 1-1. Samford quiet offensively for the first 2 innings and then put up a big 5 spot in the third, thanks in part to a crucial error from Carlos Ocasio. Three of those runs coming with 2 outs on the board. 2-1 pitch is skied out to center. Backing up towards the wall and straight away center, and putting it away is Estrada. And 2 quickly away here for Samford in the bottom of the fourth.
Estrada working both sides of the plate, and that at bat against Dixon. Dixon just missed as he tried to elevate and drive it the other way. Just missed the barrel as Estrada is able to corral the fly ball in dead center for out number 2.
So John Robles comes in and quickly retires both Dixon brothers. And that brings up Brandon Fryman, who takes one in the dirt for ball 1. Fryman looped a ball into shallow right field for an RBI single. That brought home TJ Dixon for the second run of the game. And Fryman then stole second base and would come around to score on the Kevin Williams Jr. double. Robles, the 1-1, is inside and off of his foot. Fryman is going to have to shake that one off, a little bit of a stinger.
Ouch. Never feels good to bounce one off your foot. Fryman will get some time to try to walk that one off a little bit. You mentioned Fryman's hit back in the third, one of a few hits the Bulldogs had in that frame. 4 of them, 4 of their 5 hits came in that inning, as Ocasio's error did play a part, but the Dogs came up with some big 2-out hits as well. Let's kind of keep that inning rolling. Brandon Fryman, his RBI hit was one of them. Kevin Williams Jr. Ayrton Schaefer just missed a home run, as the Dogs came up with a couple of 2-out hits and 4 hits in the frame. All 4 came with runners in scoring position. So the Dogs' offensive approach over the last couple of days certainly trending upward, and they'll need that this weekend when they take on a very offensive club in Western Carolina when they come to Birmingham for the 3-game set coming up on Friday.
Fryman back in the box and takes a called strike 3, so he is down looking, and that'll do it for Samford. A quick 3 up and 3 down inning for John Robles in his first action of the night. We will head to the 5th here at Joe Lee Griffin Field. Samford leads Alabama State by a score of 5-1. This is Samford baseball.
If you're entering a Division I college or university on or after August 1st of 2016, there are some new academic requirements you need to know.
First, you have to graduate high school within 4 consecutive years from the start of 9th grade. And in those 4 years, you have to pass 16 core courses.
Next, your 16 core courses must be taken in a specific area of study at a specific time during high school.
Your 16 core courses will determine your core GPA, which must be 2.3 or higher to be eligible to practice, compete, or receive an athletic scholarship during your freshman year in college.
10 of those 16 have to be taken before your 7th semester. Those 10 courses are locked in, meaning you can't retake them to improve your GPA.
You must also earn a combined ACT and SAT score that matches your core course GPA on the Division I sliding scale.
It's important to build a team that you can depend on for guidance and support. So go talk to your guidance counselor and ask them to join your team.
We all were in your shoes just a few years ago, so we know what it takes to become a Division I student athlete.
But more importantly, we know what it means to make our dreams become a reality. You can too.
Top of the fifth inning at Joe Lee Griffin Field. John McAfoose alongside Blake Gardner. Samford leading Alabama State by a score of 5-1. Jack Rude's day is done. 1 inning pitched, 1 hit allowed. It was a home run that got Alabama State on the board. The new pitcher for the Bulldogs, number 12, the freshman, Matthew Bennett.
Bennett making just his 4th appearance of the year, the 6'2", 175-pound freshman from College Station High School in College Station, Texas. So far, 4 innings of work, no earned runs, just 3 hits given up, struck out 5 and walked 2, a perfect ERA for the freshman right-hander who will face the bottom third of the Alabama State lineup to kick off the top of the 5th.
Bennett got some time at first base last night. Drew 3 walks and scored a couple of runs, also drove in a run. Chris Biosick, the first baseman for Alabama State, will lead things off here in the top half of the 5th. Biosick grounded out to Troy Dixon at second in his first at bat. Here he puts down a bunt down the third base line, but well foul.
Biosick, another guy who made some really solid contact in his first at bat, just right at the glove of Troy Dixon. For Matthew Bennett on the mound, his first appearance in 18 days, last appeared in the Mercer Series. Scoreless inning.
0-1 to Biosick, hit sharply on the ground. Fryman to his left fields and throws in time. 1 away here in the top half of the 5th.
And in very limited action, that's pretty much what Matthew Bennett's been able to do, induce plenty of ground balls and let his defense work behind him. Not a guy who struck out a whole lot of hitters. Did K up 4 in his midweek outing against the Troy Trojans almost a month ago. By and large, he's let his defense work behind him, and it's been an approach that's worked for him through 4 1/3 now.
Samford pitching has been very efficient so far, as this one rolled foul down the left field line by Hunter Allen. Allen, the catcher, flew out to right field in his first at bat. Just 2 hits in the game right now for Alabama State. A double back in the second, and then the solo home run from Hernandez last inning.
Samford's shown a variety of arms so far in their first 3 guys that they've tossed out on the mound. Good breaking ball there from Bennett.
1-1. Off speed in there for a called strike, and Bennett now ahead in the count 1-2 against Hunter Allen.
Skinner more of a soft lefty from an over top angle, and Josh Rude, a big kid at 6'4" with a really high arm angle, a steep breaking ball, and Matthew Bennett a bit more of a herky-jerky delivery, but picks up the K right there.
Brings one inside, and Hunter Allen can't get a piece of it, and quickly 2 away here for Bennett. Nice work so far from the Samford bullpen.
Good job from Samford pitching so far through 4 2/3. They continue the excellent work that they started last night against Alabama A&M, where they surrendered just 5 hits to the Bulldogs, and so far just 2 hits through 4 2/3 for the visiting Hornets this evening.
No walks either thus far for the Samford staff, which is a good sign. No walks and 3 strikeouts. 1-0 swung on and missed by Josh Dunson. Hit a sharp ground ball to Austin Edens over at first base back in the 3rd inning. Edens made a nice play on that for the 3 unassisted put out. 1-1 to Dunson, hit well down the left field line, but foul. Over towards the bullpen of Alabama State. Samford leads 5-1, all 5 runs coming in the 3rd. 1-2 fouled off towards the Pete Hanna Center on the right side.
4 hits last weekend for Josh Dunson. In the series against Grambling, that was a clean sweep for Alabama State, as they've had plenty of success in SWAC conference play. 2nd in the conference, trailing only Jackson State.
This one is hit hard, and it's a base hit into left field. A line drive through the left side of the infield. And Dunson aboard for the first time tonight. Third hit of the game for Alabama State.
Good piece of hitting there from Dunson. He goes down and gets the breaking ball and is able to get his barrel to it and drive it through the left side. Guy that's raised his average quite a few points over the last week and a half or so continues to do so with a 2-out single.
Center fielder, Joseph Estrada.
Dunson, one of just 2 freshmen in this starting lineup, but they've both had a big impact. It's Dunson on board, and Cage Cox, who is now on deck, has been the best hitter this season. Snap throw down the first, gets away from Edens, and now taking off for second is Dunson, and he will make it standing up. So Dunson finds himself in scoring position now with 2 away here in the 5th.
And Mulrine, a guy with a really good arm behind home plate, and he loves to make that snap throw behind runners at first, and you're kind of hidden behind the batter with Estrada, the switch hitter, hitting left-handed against the right-hander Bennett, but that time Mulrine's throw one-hopped, almost two-hopped Edens over at first base, and looked like it bounced off the base runner Dunson into foul territory, so he's able to take the free 90 feet on the Dogs' first defensive miscue of the day.
Yeah, we've kind of become accustomed to seeing almost perfect throws routinely from Mulrine behind the plate. That one, as you said, just skipped in the dirt in front of Edens. A swing and a miss here from Estrada, and now ahead in the count. 0-2 is Matthew Bennett, trying to pitch around that error that put Dunson in the scoring position.
First left-handed plate appearance of the day for Estrada after his first 2 at-bats came against Samford starter Hamp Skinner.
0-2 just a little bit outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Estrada struck out against Skinner in the first and then was hit on the left leg or foot. 1-2 low, count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Estrada, the only switch hitter in the lineup. Hit right-handed his first 2 times. One thing we weren't provided, I wish we were, wanted to see the splits on Estrada from either side of the plate. Don't see a whole lot of switch hitters anymore in college baseball.
2-2 hit sharply to Edens. It bounces off of him, and they will not have a play at first base as Edens can't quite handle the sharp hop. And it'll be runners at the corners for Alabama State.
And it'll be interesting to see how they score that, because that ball was hit pretty hard, but Austin Edens had it right in front of his chest as he wasn't able to keep it just in front of him. Kind of bounced away and no chance to get Estrada at first base, and looks like that will be scored an error. So back-to-back errors committed by the Dogs defense have allowed runners at first and third, and now a spot for Cage Cox to try to cut into this Samford lead.
Best hitter in this Alabama State lineup, a chance to make the score a little bit closer here. Samford took advantage of an Alabama State error in the third, and now Alabama State has a chance to return the favor as a couple of errors this inning has. Runner on the corners for the visiting team, but 2 away, and it's quickly 2-0 to Cage Cox. And Edens, I think if he's able to knock that ball down in front of him, he can still get the out at first base, but he got in front of it, but he knocked it over to his right, and by the time he's able to chase it down, it was plenty of time for Estrada to race into first base without a play. Quick mound meeting here.
Samford head coach Casey Dunn will make his way to the mound as he meets with all the pitchers this evening. Already mentioned Tyler Shrout and his wife Lexi welcoming in a new baby boy yesterday. Everybody healthy there, but he is out for this midweek, as he should be, attending with his family. So Casey Dunn will work with all the pitchers tonight and cycle through 3 or 4 at least. Expect to see Wyatt Burns, expect to see Jared Brasher later in this contest. We'll see what other arms are hot and ready down the right field line out of the Samford bullpen tonight, as Matthew Bennett is arm number 3 for this Samford pitching staff and is trying to avoid giving up any more runs with runners in the corners and 2 outs.
Cage Cox might see a nice pitch to hit here, up 2-0 in the count. And that one will just miss. And Cox up now 3-0. .3-0 pitch on the outside corner for a called strike.
See how aggressive Bennett is as he tries to take the long road back from 3-0.
Dunson at third, Estrada at first. This one hit well into right field. Racing towards the foul line is Fusey. Is he going to get there? He does indeed. A nice running catch by Jordan Fusey just into foul territory. And so a couple of runners stranded on the corners by Alabama State. A nice job by Matthew Bennett to pitch around a couple of Samford errors. So we'll head to the bottom half of the fifth. The Bulldogs continue to lead 5-1. This is Samford baseball.
At Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
and most importantly, customer service.
We believe in treating our customers with respect and integrity while offering all the services you need for your car.
Most of all, at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers,
we believe in keeping cars on the road, keeping families safe,
and keeping you coming back whenever the need arises.
We head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Samford ahead of Alabama State by a score of 5-1 here at Joe Lee Griffin Field. John McAfoose alongside Blake Gardner. The new Samford Athletics Hall of Fame is now open to the public on the third floor of the Pete Hanna Center. Our inaugural class will be inducted in a special ceremony scheduled for Saturday, May 6th. You can find all the details online at sanfordsports.com and make your plans to visit the brand new Samford Athletics Hall of Fame. Jordan Fusey takes ball one from John Robles, back out for his second inning of work. 1-0 pitch swung on and missed, 1-1. And if you're a Samford fan or alumni, I definitely recommend trying to get out to the Pete Hanna Center and take a walk through the Hall of Fame. Very cool. There's a lot of cool stuff there, and there will be a lot of rotation and changes as far as what's on display, and it's very, very cool so far what's been done with the Samford Athletics Hall of Fame. 2-1 now to Jordan Fusey, leading off for Samford here in the bottom half of the fifth. That one up high, and Fusey ahead in the count, 3-1.
Pretty eclectic original class there, too. The first ever class, the Samford Hall of Fame. Participants from all over Samford sports, both a little bit closer to the present and also digging deep into the past as well. Committee did a great job selecting the inaugural class, and look forward to many more classes going into that Hall of Fame.
Full count pitch. It's high and outside, and Fusey aboard with a walk. And yeah, you're right, it really is a little bit of everything in that first class for the Hall of Fame, so definitely worth checking out, and possible that maybe even some alumni aren't familiar with all the inductees, and you can learn a little bit about what they did in their time here at Samford and why they are part of that first ever Hall of Fame class. A lot of good inductees this season.
Good patient AB there from Jordan Fusey as he finds himself aboard for the first time. Love to see that patient eye out of a guy that swings for such pop. You know, guys are going to try to get him to extend out of the zone, but he's able to hold back, and he finds himself aboard.
Edens again swings at the first pitch he sees. He's seen three pitches. He has swung at all three of them. The first two were in play. He roped a single back in the second, flew out to right field in the third. Here he fouls one back out of play.
On the other end of the spectrum, Austin Eden's been hyper-aggressive tonight.
He certainly likes what he's seeing out of the hands of the Alabama State pitchers, but here he takes his pitch, his first take of the night, and the count even at 1-1.
Eden's guys walked quite a bit this year, actually. 27 walks is good for the team lead by 4 over the next highest.
This one hit sharply to the left side of the infield. A nice play over at short by Dunson, and he turns and fires to second and gets Fusey by a step, but a nice, very nice play deep in the hole, ranging to his right.
Yeah, Dunson there with a great backhanded play as he worked towards the 6-hole. That's pretty much textbook footwork, how they teach it in infield growing up. You go to your knee right there and slide to try to keep it on the infield first to block it up. But he comes up with it cleanly and is able to turn, spin, and fire to get the lead runner at second base. So a great play all the way around by Dunson over at short.
Garris takes one low for ball 1. So 1 away now in the bottom of the 5th. Edens replaces Fusey as the runner standing at first base as he's aboard on the fielder's choice. Garris flew out to center field and walked and scored a run in the 3rd.
Time called as Hunter Allen will go talk to his right-hander Robles. It gives us a good chance to talk about our Papa John's scoreboard, presented by Papa John's Pizza, online at papajohns.com. Western Carolina, the Catamounts are coming into town this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The number 2 team in the Southern Conference standings so far this year. And they finish off a 2-game sweep of Savannah State. They won yesterday by quite a bit, and they do so again today. 9-2 the final for Western Carolina over Savannah State.
2-0, very tight into Garris. Garris ahead now 3-0.
5 in a row for Western Carolina. So the Dogs will have to snap that Catamount win streak on Friday. In action right now, the Tennessee Volunteers in Knoxville are hosting ETSU right now, and it's all Volunteers in the top of the 8th. Vols 8, Bucks 1.
Garris taking all the way in the 3-0 count. It's in there for a called strike, 3-1.
Furman going to the northern part of the Carolinas to take on Gardner-Webb. It's Gardner-Webb 4, Furman nothing, bottom of the 3rd.
This one rolled foul down the left field line.
And the lone other game going on in the Southern Conference right now. Battle of 2 teams in Georgia. The Mercer Bears trail at Georgia Southern right now. That game is a 3-1 count. Working in the top of the 6th.
Three-two pitch to Garris. Rolled on the ground. Third base. And they'll get the lead runner at second. That'll be all. Nice charging play from Ray Hernandez, and Edens off the base pass, and Taylor Garris now will stand at first base with 2 away.
Yeah, much easier play there for Hernandez coming across rather than Dunson trying to make a backhanded play, and Hernandez does a good job reading that baseball, comes and gets the big hop, and knows there's probably not a chance to get 2, so he's able to lob it over to second, make sure he can take his time and get that lead guy at least.
Williams Jr.
Kevin Williams Jr. struck out in the 2nd and then smashed an RBI double the opposite way down the right field line into the corner. Williams would then also come around to score after Ayrton Schaefer hit a double to center that just barely missed getting out of here. This one in the dirt and taking off is Garris, and he will slide into second without a throw. Heads up base running from the 3rd baseman.
Yeah, good read by Garris on the ball in the dirt right there. That's pretty much what you want your base runners to do. You want them to extend and get a really good secondary so that they see the ball in the dirt. They can go ahead and be leaning towards second base, and any bounce away against the mask or the chest protector of Allen can result in an extra 90 feet. And that's exactly what happened right there. Heads up base running gives you a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, and all of a sudden it's an RBI chance for Williams Jr.
1 run driven in already for Williams, looking to double that total here. Big swing and a miss, 1-1.
Talking earlier about Samford's 31-1 win over Alabama A&M yesterday. I thought that was quite a bit of runs. That was a little bit more one-sided. Earlier tonight, the number 8 team in the country, Texas Tech, in action against New Mexico. Red Raiders 27, Lobos 15. In a pitching coach's nightmare. Those two combined for 42 runs.
This ball hit very, very high into shallow left field. And going out and making an acrobatic catch in shallow left is the shortstop, Dunson. So that'll do it for Samford. In the bottom half of the 5th, they leave 1 runner on base, but no further damage done. The Bulldogs continue to lead by a score of 5-1. We will head to the 6th inning here at Joe Lee Griffin Field. This is Samford Baseball.
These are the student athletes. This is where they train. These are their homes. This is where they become Rhodes Scholars and academic All-Americans. These are the athletes they've always admired. This is where champions are crowned and moments are made. This is the Southern Conference.
General Shale makes your great outdoors even better with big savings on its outdoor living collection. Everything you need to create your own backyard fire pit, outdoor fireplace, General Shale delivers to your home and can recommend a contractor. Or offers easy-to-follow instructions to do it yourself. Save money now on backyard fun with General Shale's complete outdoor living collection. Hurry, your great outdoors is waiting for you.
Another pitching change for Samford as we hit the top half of the 6th inning in a game which Samford currently leads 5-1 after 3 innings from Hamp Skinner and an inning apiece from Jack Rude and Matthew Bennett. Josh Rich, the new pitcher for the Bulldogs.
Rich wearing number 34, the 6'1", 202-pound junior right-hander from Hoover, Alabama. Will come on here in the 6th. So far numbers for Rude, a 1-0 record in 17 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 7 runs on 14 hits, struck out 18, and walked 6. With an ERA at 3.63 so far this year through 2 innings in the Wofford series. Gave up 1 run on 1 hit, struck out 1, and did not walk anybody. Overall, he has thrown scoreless innings in 3 of his last 4 outings.
You'll see the 3, 4, and 5 hole hitters here for Alabama State, beginning with Carlos Ocasio, 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout, and he takes way outside for ball 1. Talked a little bit about the upcoming schedule for Samford, the UAB game next Tuesday, as Ocasio shows bunt, and bunts 1 foul to make the count 1-1. Next conference series, of course, this weekend against Western Carolina, and then another one next weekend as Furman will be here for a 3-game Southern Conference series. This one up and in, 2 balls and 1 strike. Hard to believe, but the regular season quickly winding down. It seems like we just started not long ago, but calendar now approaching May as this one is hit on the ground. Fair ball. Garris Fields throws across the diamond. It's a wild throw. And so that will go as an E5 as Taylor Garris fielded cleanly. Throw just sailed on him. And so leadoff runner aboard here for Alabama State in the 6th.
Yeah, good job by Garris there to get to that baseball. It was kind of on the line there. Weren't sure if it was going to be fair or foul. Garris came and got it in fair territory, trying to make sure he could record the out on a ground ball that wasn't hit all that hard. But you're right, the ball just kind of sails on him. Austin Aidens saves a base by keeping it in front of him, but Ocasio is aboard as the leadoff man.
And this ball squirts away from Mulrine, and Ocasio advances to second base. By the way, that was ruled a hit, not an error on Garris. Have to see the replay maybe. Maybe they thought he was going to beat it out. I thought it was certainly E5 all the way, but it is going down as an infield single. And now Ocasio into scoring position with nobody out. So Alabama State a chance to start scratching its way back into this game. They trail by 4 here in the 6th inning. 1-0 pitch swung. Good contact, but fouled out of play from Gustavo Rios.
And we do have some clarification now. That ball hit to Austin Edens back in the 5th was changed from an error to a hit. So Estrada gets credited with the hit to first baseman Austin Edens, and that ball off the bat of Ocasio will go as E5, the Dog's second error of the night. So it was an E5.
Yep, makes sense, and good calls on both of those. I think that was clearly an E5, and I agree with the call, taking that error away from Edens, because that was a very, very hard hit ball and not a routine play at all. So I agree that good call on changing that from an E3 to an infield single. One-two pitch outside, count even at 2-2 to Rios, the designated hitter, who's 0 for 2 on the night so far. A fly out to center and popped up to Austin Edens. 1 run on 4 hits so far for Alabama State. This one is roped down the left field line. It is a fair ball. That's going to score a run. As racing into second, standing up is Rios, an RBI double. And the lead cut to 3 now as Alabama State puts its second run on the board.
And this Alabama State middle of the order between Cox, Ocasio, and Rios have been held in check for the most part tonight, but you knew it was only a matter of time before one of them did some damage. Those 3 guys accounted for 7 home runs and 9 RBIs this past weekend, and Rios does the first damage out of the heart of the order tonight for Alabama State as he jumped all over that pitch and kept it fair down the left field line. He picks up 15th double of the year. That's the 15th double of the year for Rios, and quickly time called as Samford head coach Casey Dunn will go out to the mound to try to calm down his squad as this inning has gotten off to an inconspicuous start between the E5 and a pass ball and now a hard hit baseball, and Alabama State has trimmed this to just a 3-run game.
A 3-run game with nobody out and a runner in scoring position in the top half of the 6th inning. Josh Rich on the mound for Samford in his first inning of work. He's the 4th pitcher of the night for Samford. 2 teams now even in the hits column with 5 apiece. Check swing, but going around is Ray Hernandez, and it's 0-1. Hernandez hit a solo home run in the 4th inning. That was the first run of the game for Alabama State. This one skips away, and now advancing another 90 feet is Rios, and now he stands at 3rd with nobody out.
Yeah, and the first advancement of the inning was probably more the fault of Mulrine. That one definitely the fault of Rich as it bounces in front of the plate. Mulrine, very little chance to try to keep that in front. And Alabama State's potential 3rd run of the night, now just 90 feet away.
One pitch popped up and out of play.
Hernandez coming off that home run in the 4th. This has been a guy who's done nothing but produce since he's stepped on campus at Alabama State. Back in 2015 as a true freshman at .268 with 18 RBIs and 27 starts. And then last year, ridiculous numbers between the 16 home runs, 62 RBIs, and he picks up another RBI to his 2017 total right there.
Yeah, strokes one in the left field. A good approach there, good swing, good contact from Ray Hernandez, and a 2 for 3 night at the plate with a couple of runs driven in, and Alabama State right back in this game. It's 5-3 and still nobody out here in the 6th inning.
Second time scoring in 3 frames for Alabama State. First time they've scored more than 1 run in a frame. And the Alabama State bats are coming to life.
DeAndre Amion doubled in his first at bat, flew out to center in his second at bat. Here's got Ray Hernandez standing at first base and nobody out. Alabama State crawling its way back into this game. A lot of extra base hits for Alabama State tonight, as falling behind in the count 3-0 is Josh Rich, and that'll prompt Mulrine to head out to the mound and have a quick discussion with Rich. Half of the hits for Alabama State have gone for extra bases. Solo home run from Ray Hernandez and doubles from each of Gustavo Rios, as well as the man at the plate right now, DeAndre Amion, who takes a called strike to make the count 3-1. This inning began with an error from Garris at third base, and then back-to-back hits from Rios and Hernandez, in the count full now as Amion fouls one back into the netting.
Big pitch here from Josh Rich, really showing some maturity, trying to battle back from down 3-0. Inning obviously didn't start the way he wanted it to, but he's still got a chance to battle back and get Amion, and you're still working with a 2-run lead.
This one skied very high. We'll see if it's going to stay playable. It will not, as it lands right around the dugout area of Alabama State.
Amion draws new life. Guy already with an extra base hit to his credit so far this evening. Was named to the 2016 Freshman All-American team last year. Was also a preseason first-team selection in the SWAC.
Full count pitch from Rich. Upstairs, ball 4. And now the tying run, and Amion stands at first base. Amion at first, Hernandez at second, and still nobody out.
Samford does have a right-hander up and warming in the bullpen.
Chris Biasic.
But it looks like Rich will stay in the game to face Biosic. And all of a sudden this inning has turned into a big one, and the chance to produce some more off the bat of Biosic.
Samford was on cruise control really from the get-go until this top half of the 6th, where now the first 4 batters of the inning have reached base. And Josh Rich yet to record an out. Does get ahead of Biosic, 0-1. Biosic 0 for 2 with a couple of ground balls. 1 to second, 1 to short. That one off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Rich would love a ground ball right here, as Alabama State has men on first and second. 1-1 pitch hit hard out of play down the right field line.
Biosic, another guy who's put up some sterling offensive numbers so far this year. He's been held down with a couple of ground balls tonight, but 304 average coming into the at-bat, 385 with runners in scoring position, 31 hits and 102 at-bats. Makes that 304 average. The year before, 313 with 57 hits and 182 at-bats.
1-2 pitch, just outside, count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Josh Rich desperately needs an out in this situation, trying to limit the damage. 2 runs already in this inning for Alabama State, as Samford's lead has been cut to just 2 runs. It's 5-3. This one is rolled on the ground. Fryman over to his left. His only play is going to be to first, and Edens can't handle it on a hop, and everybody is safe. Alabama State has the bases loaded with nobody out.
And that likely is going to be scored an infield hit for Biosic, as even if Fryman makes the play and Edens is able to come up with a pick, it's bang-bang over there. Biosic might have it beat out.
Hunter Allen.
And they put an error on the board, and I'm a little surprised by that one. I was thinking maybe an infield single too, as Fryman ranged well to his left, really getting that ball behind the second base bag. He did have a play at first, but it was really going to be a bang-bang play. Just skipped it in the dirt in front of Edens, and I think probably 9 times out of 10 Edens able to pick that. This time he just can't, so looks like it's going to be an error on Brandon Fryman. And now Josh Rich really does have his work cut out for him. With the bases loaded and nobody out. Hunter Allen at the plate and ahead in the count, 1-0. Allen is 0 for 2 on the evening with a fly out and a strikeout. Huge opportunity right here for the catcher. And he's ahead, 2 balls and no strikes.
First 5 of the inning have reached for Alabama State. They have 2 hits, but they've also been aided by a walk, and as it stands right now on the scorecard, a couple of errors.
2-0. Garris fields just foul. If it was fair, could have been a double play. Certainly would have gotten the lead runner at home, but just foul.
Taylor Garris tried his best to try to keep that fair.
Yeah, you can see he's a little frustrated that he didn't. Hands on the head. He thought maybe he got it. Was ready to throw home. Try to turn a 5-2-3 double play perhaps, but it is foul. So we'll do it again. The 2-1 pitch is fouled back towards the backstop. 2-2. Big moment in this game. 2 runs in, bases loaded, nobody out. As all 5 batters have reached base for Alabama State here in the top half of the 6th. Samford still leads, but only by 2. It's 5-3. Hunter Allen at the plate in a 2-2 count. This one is fouled off. Tried not to go around on that one. Did Hunter Allen. Just got a little piece of the bat. So we'll do 2-2 yet again. Tense moment here at Joe Lee Griffin Field. 2-2 from Rich is hit on the ground very slowly and softly. There's not going to be a play on this. And the breaks going Alabama State right now, as that is about a 25 or maybe a 30-foot infield single that just died on the grass. No play for Rich, no play for Garris. Tough break for Samford, great break for Alabama State, and they are within one and still have the bases loaded and nobody out.
6 straight Alabama State hitters have reached in the inning now, and just one ball has left the infield. As Alabama State's drawn within one, still nobody out. And a chance to tack on. Josh Rich remains on the mound looking desperately for the first out of the 6th.
And he does get ahead of Dunson, who takes a cut and misses at the first pitch he sees.
Dunson, the 6'3" freshman from Atlanta, Georgia, is one swing away from giving Alabama State the lead.
Fouls one out of play and behind in the count. 0-2 now. Dunson is 1 for 2 with a single. This inning so far for Alabama State has gone E5, double, single, walk, E6, and infield dribbler for a single with the bases loaded. Rich got the ground ball he was looking for. Just Allen barely got a piece of it, and it just happened to stay fair. This one fouled off towards the backstop. Count remains 0-2 to Josh Dunson. Samford was in total control coming into this inning. Now their lead is down to just 1 run, and Alabama State still has the bases loaded. Still nobody out here in the 6th. 0-2 to Dunson. Swung on and missed, and a big, big first out recorded by Josh Rich by way of strikeout.
Yeah, strikeouts don't really come any bigger than that. Josh Rich is able to work ahead of Dunson, 0-2, and really that was the key. You win the at-bat early in the count because it gives you so much more flexibility later on, and he's able to get Dunson to extend out of the strike zone a couple of times. He chased upstairs but got a piece on the first delivery, and that time he goes back downstairs, changes the eye level, and records strikeout number 19 of the year, a big out number 1, as Alabama State flips the card back to the top of the order.
Dunson will be upset about that one for a while as he's unable to make contact in a bases loaded, no out situation. So a very unproductive out for him, and coming up and taking a big swing and a miss is Joseph Estrada, the leadoff hitter for Alabama State. This begins the 4th time through the batting order for Alabama State. Estrada does have a hit. He struck out, was hit by a pitch, and then an infield single, which was originally ruled an error, an E3 on Austin Edens, but that call changed to an infield single. And here at the plate in another very big situation against Josh Rich. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here is the 1-1 pitch. It's outside, 2-1. Amion at third. Biasic at second. And Hunter Allen at first. 1 away here in the top half of the 6th at Joe Lee Griffin Field. Samford leads by just a run, 5-4. 2-1, swung on and missed. Count even at 2-2. Josh Rich in position to maybe notch another strikeout.
Good speed to the plate for Estrada. Working out of the left-handed batter's box in 101 at-bats so far this year, has never grounded into a double play. Rich has gone up in the zone twice for 2 swings and misses. See if he goes up there again.
Here is the 2-2 right down the middle, and leaving the bat on his shoulder is Joseph Estrada. He is down looking, so back-to-back strikeouts. And Josh Rich just 1 out away from getting out of this jam without allowing further damage.
Love the confidence in the fastball there from Josh Rich, able to work the inside part of the plate in an even count, 2-2, and he spots it up right there on the corner to freeze Estrada, and now he's just 1 pitch away from escaping a nightmarish inning and leaving with the lead intact.
Tough task with Cage Cox at the plate, but Cox takes 1 right down the middle for strike 1. So the first 6 batters of the inning reach, and then Rich responds with strikeouts of Dunson and Estrada, trying to get Cox now to end the inning, as that one is just off the plate, 1-1.
Cox working on a 5-game hitting streak and coming off a weekend where he hit safely 9 times, 9 hits in the series against Grambling State, including a 4-for-6 outing on Sunday.
One pitch from Rich in there for a called strike, and now he's ahead in the count, 1-2, and now just 1 strike away.
Big pitch on 1-1 there to work ahead. Goes with a backdoor breaking ball. See if he shows that breaking ball once more.
Samford trying to keep their lead heading into the bottom half of the inning. 1 strike away from doing so. Here is the 1-2 pitch, fouled off. That might have gotten a piece of his helmet or even his face, as it looked like it hit it straight down in the dirt, and then it bumped up and got a piece of Cage Cox. Well, we'll do the 1-2 again. This would be a great job from Josh Rich if he is able to get out of this without allowing further damage, as 3 runs came in and the bases remain loaded with nobody out. And then he gets a couple of strikeouts. 1-2 pitch. Did he go around? It's in there for a called strike 3. And Josh Rich, what a job he does after Alabama State puts 3 on the board to crawl within 1. They leave the bases loaded as Josh Rich strikes out Dunson, Estrada, and Cox to get out of the inning. So Samford's lead cut down to just 1. They will come back to the plate in the bottom of the 6th with a 5-4 lead. This is Samford baseball.
3 runs, 3 hits.
I think we should have taken a left at the river.
Tarzan, no. Where Tarzan go?
Tarzan does not know where Tarzan go. Hey, excuse me, do you know where the waterfall is? Waterfall?
No. Me, Tarzan. King of jungle.
I know you wanted to.
If you're a couple, you fight over directions. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
You have to do that right in my ear.
Canadian bacon, Italian sausage, Spanish olives. It's like having the whole world in your hands and then in your mouth.
Order the Works Pizza or any large pizza for just $12. That's right, just $12 for any large pizza. Order now at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Well, we've got ourselves a game now here at Joe Lee Griffin Field, as Samford's lead has been cut down to just 1. The Bulldogs leading by a score of 5-4 as we hit the bottom half of the 6th inning. Ayrton Schaefer will lead things off for the home team. He's reached base twice already today, and here he hits a bomb into left center, and it is well out of here. A solo home run to lead off the 6th inning to Ayrton Schaefer, not waiting around, swinging at the first pitch he sees and crushing it into left center.
He just barely missed a home run, and his double off the top of the wall in the 3rd. He didn't miss that by anything. That ball was a laser that got out of here in a hurry to left center, and barely a look from Amion in left field as Schaefer crushes his 6th home run of the year, and quickly Samford's lead is back to 2.
Big run for Samford as they immediately answer with a run of their own, push the lead back up to 2, and Ayrton Schaefer having himself a game. This one hit to the left side of the infield. Dunson fields and throws out Anthony Mulrine. So Samford continuing to be aggressive as Schaefer and Mulrine both coming up and swinging at the first pitch they see. Schaefer has reached base all 3 times that he's batted now. He walked in the 2nd, had a 2-run double in the 3rd, and then that solo home run to start the 6th.
Another great night at the plate for the freshman from Houston High School, and that's what you love to see. You love to see that quality contact, especially from a guy that struggled with a bit of his contact percentage early on in his college career. He's seeing the ball really well tonight.
Troy Dixon is 0 for 2. He did reach on an error and would eventually come around to score a run. What was the first run of the game for the Bulldogs back in the 3rd inning. Samford put up a 5 spot in the 3rd and then was held scoreless until here in the 6th when Schaefer hit a deep home run to left center. Samford back out in front by 2. 1-2 pitch to Troy Dixon off the plate, count even at 2-2. Nice night for baseball here on the campus of Samford University in Birmingham, Alabama. This one hit on the ground. Ocasio has it. Slow roller fired over in time, and Troy Dixon is retired.
You and I were talking before the broadcast. Nice night for softball last night as well, as Samford softball welcomed in the Alabama Crimson Tide, the number 12 team in the country. Didn't end well for the Samford Bulldogs as they fell 8-1.
Center fielder,
but nice to see quality crowd on campus, and the Samford ladies get ready to wrap up their season and head north to Chattanooga for their conference tournament coming up in 2 weeks or so.
Got to give Samford credit for trying to hang around, and they kept fighting last night. They gave up 4 in the 1st and 3 in the 2nd to fall behind 7-0, and from that point it was much more competitive. Too late for them to come back, but they did hang around the remainder of the game and keep it close from the 3rd through 7th innings. TJ Dixon hits this one on the ground to Ocasio. He fires over to first in plenty of time, and that'll do it for Samford here in the bottom half of the 6th. But not before Ayrton Schaefer adds an insurance run for the home team when he leads off with a solo home run to deep left center. Samford's lead back up to 2, 6-4 over Alabama State. We'll be back with the 7th inning here at Joe Lee Griffin Field. This is Samford Baseball. Back for the top half of the 7th inning at Joe Lee Griffin Field. John McAfoose alongside Blake Gardner, and Samford with a 6-4 lead, and it's time for another pitching change for Samford. It's the senior righty, a guy who's become a weapon at the back end of the bullpen, Jared Brasher.
Brasher, number 41, the 6'1", 200-pound senior from Pell City High School in Pell City, Alabama, is the new Samford pitcher in the top of the 7th. 3-0 record, 21 1/3 inning pitch so far this year. 5 runs on 9 hits, has struck out 33 and walked 17. ERA is at 2.11 for the righty from Pell City.
And as we hit the home stretch here at the Griff, with Samford ahead 6-4, I'll turn the play-by-play reins back over to Blake Gardner.
Thank you, sir. Samford on top 6-4 as Brasher completes the warm-up tosses, and for the first 3 rows behind home plate that are heavy with some scouts, immediately all the radar guns and video cameras go up as everyone wants to see where Brasher's fastball is sitting tonight. 3, 4, and 5 due up for Alabama State. Starts with the second baseman Carlos Ocasio, as Alabama State sent 9 hitters to the plate in the last frame of the 6th. 3 runs to make this what was a 1-run game at the time, now a 2-run game after the solo shot from Ayrton Schaefer. First pitch from Brasher, check swing from Ocasio. Couldn't hold back on the fastball upstairs at strike 1. Brasher working exclusively from the stretch, as the 0-1 is off the inside shoulder of Ocasio. And the home plate umpire, Tracy Cheek, is going to gather his umpires together. I think they're going to decide whether to award Ocasio first base or not. So the umpires will get together. Looked like it came off the inside arm, perhaps, of Ocasio. And we'll see what the umpire's deliberation is. As it stands, it's a hits batsman, and it will stay as a hits batsman, and now that'll draw a conversation from Samford head coach Casey Dunn. As it stands, Alabama State has a base runner here in the top of the 7th, and Jared Brasher's woes from his last appearance against the Wofford Terriers will continue, as Brasher appeared one time this past weekend against Wofford, faced 3 batters, walked 1 and hit a couple, and his 8 pitches thrown, and he's hit another guy right here apparently to lead off the top of the 7th as the conversation continues between Casey Dunn and Tracy Cheek up the first base side.
Yeah, for Brasher, I mean, when he's right, he's filthy, but when he's off, it's because of his control. And you mentioned his performance against Wofford, and now 6 hit batters on the year.
Conversation still ongoing as it stands. Brasher's now hit 6 hitters so far this year. Ocasio's at first. Gustavo Rios, the designated hitter, will make his way to the plate as the conversation concludes up the first base side. Samford head coach Casey Dunn, hat off, not exactly thrilled with the reasoning from any of the umpires he talked to. Gonna be honest, I'm not sure any of the 3 umpires knew exactly if that hit Ocasio or not. More of an educated guess from all 3 parties. So Ocasio's at first. Rios, the potential tying run on the top of the 7th, digs in at the plate.
Gustavo Rios.
Rios 1 for 3. RBI double his last at bat. As Brasher comes set, comes home. First pitch up and in, ball 1. Time called as Rios will trot on down to talk up the third baseline. Rios hitting .321 so far this year, 45 hits, 140 at-bats. And team leader in the RBI department. Came into today with 35 after his RBI double in the 6th, make it 36 on the season.
If you're Brasher, you got to come back and find the strike zone. You already put the leadoff man aboard via hit by pitch, and now cannot afford to lose this guy at the plate who represents the tying run.
1-0, pops up right side, foul and out of play. Has no fewer than 8, 9, 10 radar guns up on that fastball. I look to be sitting around the mid-90s, maybe 94, 95-ish. Brasher from the stretch. 1-1 upcoming, it's in the dirt. Good stop behind home plate by Mulrine, who lost it temporarily, but able to regain it and prevent Ocasio from advancing on the slider in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. And after breezing through the first 5 innings of play, we were through 5 in an hour and 28 minutes. The game is halted in the 6th and now again here in the 7th. 6 runs on 6 hits for Samford tonight, to go along with 3 errors defensively. Alabama State 4 runs on 7 hits. They've committed an error as well. Rios, a guy that can do some damage. Already has tonight. And he digs in at a plus count against Brasher. 2 balls and 1 strike. Brasher's 2-1 comes home. Hit well towards right, but just off the end of the bat as Fusey took a couple of steps back and will now take a couple of steps in, make the catch. Rios is retired for the 3rd time tonight. He's out number 1 in the 7th. So Ocasio retreats to first, and Ray Hernandez will stride in to get his first look at Samford reliever Jared Brasher.
Hernandez a big night at the plate right now. 2 for 3, a home run, a single, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored.
Hernandez, the lone man in the lineup so far for Alabama State, working on a multi-hit contest. First pitch to him, chopped off him, foul. As Brasher got him out in front with the slider. Hernandez, a big kid, 6'3", 230 from Orlando, Florida. Talked a little bit already about the monster year he had last year. 289 was the batting average with 58 hits. As the 0-1, another slider. Mulrine blocks it up. It's 1-1. So far this year, 41 hits and 166 at-bats. Guy with plenty of pop, 7 doubles on the year, 5 home runs, including 1 back in the 4th of the solo variety. 1-1, runner feints, doesn't go. Another slider, and this draws a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Three straight sliders from Jared Brasher to open up the at-bat against Ray Hernandez. Brasher from the stretch. 1-2, another slider and another swing and a miss. Hernandez down on strikes. He's out number 2.
Yeah, nothing really Hernandez can do about that as the ball is coming out of the hand of Brasher. He thinks it's going to float over the middle of the plate.
Left fielder,
And it just slides
Amion.
low and away from him. He chases a couple of them, and a big out recorded by Jared Brasher.
Ocasio still a man at first. 2 down now as Amion strides in. And first pitch swinging, fouls this off left side out of play. Amion 1 for 2 officially tonight. Drew a walk in his last at-bat in the 6th. Guy who has certainly been patient at the plate. 313 average to go along with nearly a 400 on-base percentage. Runner going, this is popped up, foul territory left side. Garrett's giving it a look towards the brick. Will he have room? He will not as it just lands over the brick down in foul territory. Foul out of play. It's 0-2.
Brasher, though, has settled down and getting ahead of batters now, and obviously that's when he's at his best. He's got the great stuff. We already saw the slider, and of course the fastball and the velocity that he's got are excellent. It's just a matter of location. Now you can try to get Amion to chase one ahead in the count 0-2.
Brasher 1 pitch away from working a scoreless top of the 7th. The lefty Amion against the righty Brasher. 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball just a bit upstairs. It's 1-2.
Did not miss by much on that one. Tough for Amion to lay off that pitch as well.
See if Brasher comes back with the hard stuff on 1-2. Pitch on the way, runner goes, it's outside. Throw down to second is not in time as Fryman can't come up with it cleanly. Ocasio steals second base, his team leading 7th swiped bag of the year. And he's in scoring position now with a 2-2 count and 2 away.
Throw from Mulrine a little bit offline as well. Thrown to the left side of the second base bag, so Fryman had to try to reach back and backhand it.
From the stretch, a long look at second. The 2-2. Slider upstairs, ball 3. First base open with Biosic awaiting in the on-deck circle.
Big pitch here because even though first base is open, the last thing you want to do is issue a free pass to the man that represents the tying run.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Pressure comes up with a strikeout. And the inning is over. Alabama State strands their 8th runner of the night. We've hit stretch time at Joe Lee Griffin Field with Samford on top 6-4 as we head to the bottom of the 7th next on the Samford Sports Network.
This is Lauren. These are her first roommates, her first car, and her very first health insurance plan, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. Even at her age, she's not taking her health for granted. Her affordable health plan includes a routine annual checkup, apps, and programs that fit her lifestyle. Lauren may be just starting out, but with us, she's already got peace of mind. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you for the first time.
Hi, I'm John Imarino, Commissioner of the Southern Conference. With the full cooperation of our presidents and chancellors, the conference has created the SoCon Academic Exchange, a cooperative structure designed to benefit our academic efforts. 3 primary initiatives will be the collaboration of international study programs, a leadership development program to benefit faculty and staff, and an undergraduate research forum. For more information on the SoCon Academic Exchange, visit soconsports.com.
Samford fans, earlier in the night we talked a little bit about the Samford softball team getting set for the Southern Conference Tournament up in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The Samford baseball tournament this year will be in Greenville, South Carolina. The 2017 Southern Conference Baseball Championships presented by Holston Gases will return to one of the nation's top vacation destination cities, Greenville, South Carolina, where the Greenville Drive will host as the host team for the championships at Fluor Field. Games begin on Tuesday, May 23rd. The championship set for Sunday, May 29th. Look for all the details at SoConSports.com/championships. 2, 3, and 4 to up for Samford as Brandon Fryman takes away for ball 1 and now swings and hits this towards short. Backhanded play in the hole by Dunson. His throw is well late as Brandon Fryman is aboard with an infield hit.
Nice play from Dunson, ranging to his right deep into the hole just to keep that ball in the infield. Looked like it was ticketed for left field, and Dunson has made a few nice plays at short tonight.
The right fielder, Jordan Busey.
Brandon Fryman aboard for the second time tonight. One of 2 Bulldogs now with a multi-hit performance. He and Ayrton Schaefer. Samford with a leadoff base runner on the bottom of the 7th. Jordan Busey digs in, looking for his first hit of the night. Credit to John Robles out of the Alabama State pen, who continues to work into his 4th inning out of the bullpen now.
He was just going to comment on that. That's only the second hit he's allowed. And it comes on an infield single. The other, of course, the Ayrton Schaefer home run an inning ago. But good work out of the bullpen for Robles.
Robles, a guy who's used to extending a little bit. Made a start early in the year against Morehead State, where he threw 101 pitches. Since then, the most he's worked is 3 innings a few weeks ago against Alabama A&M.
Quick mound meeting here. Robles, as you mentioned, is into his 4th inning of work now, and, well, that's going to do it for him.
So Robles will exit with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. Alabama State will go back to the bullpen. We'll introduce the new right-hander when we come back. We'll take a timeout. This is Samford Bulldog Baseball.
The road to Omaha begins in Greenville, South Carolina. The Southern Conference Baseball Tournament comes to Fluor Field May 23rd through 28th. Enjoy some great college baseball with a trip to the NCAA's on the line in a city the New York Times calls one of the top places to go in 2017. Get your tickets to the tournament and book your rooms in that Greenville today. Experience the games. Explore the city.
New pitcher for Alabama State is their 3rd of the night, another right-hander. And this is number 13, Brandon Caples, the 6-foot, 185-pound senior from Tampa, Florida.
Caples is a guy that's gotten a lot of work this year for Alabama State, both as a starter and a reliever. This will be his 14th appearance of the season. Half of those have been starts, half of them have been out of the bullpen. 47 2/3 innings pitched, 57 hits allowed, 31 earned runs for a .585 ERA, 22 walks, and 38 strikeouts for the right-hander.
Appeared in the Grambling series, went 1 2/3, gave up 1 earned run, 3 total on 6 hits, struck out 1 and walked 1. Nobody out, and Fryman at first as he quickly draws a pickoff throw. Caples started 3 games last year as a junior, pitched in 12 total, 3-1 record with an ERA at 3.76. Was named to the preseason all-second team in the SWAC and starts Jordan Busey with a big off-speed pitch that he's out in front of. It's 0-1.
Busey still searching for his first hit of the night. Did reach base via a walk in the 5th. Also struck out and flew out to left.
Majority of Samford's damage at the plate tonight came in the bottom of the third. They put 5 runs on the board. 5 of their 6th came in the frame. 0-1 to Fusey, another off-speed pitch and another swing and a miss. It's 0-2. 5 runs in the third and 1 in the 6th for the Samford Bats to counter 1 run in the top of the 4th and 3 in the top of the 6th for Alabama State. Fryman, short lead over at first. And he draws another pickoff throw. Fryman 5 for 9 on the air and stolen bases. Coming into play tonight. Has already stolen 1 this evening. Oh, 2 to Fusey. In the dirt, just gets a piece as it nicks the mitt of Allen behind home plate. Fusey stays alive.
I'm not sure how he managed to get any contact on that one, but as you said, just enough to stay alive for Jordan Fusey.
That was one of those instances where it pays to swing a 34-inch bat. Get that extra inch to just draw a piece. 3 straight off-speed deliveries out of the hand of Caples. As we do 0-2 again. This is hit on the ground, up the middle, over the pitcher, and into center field. Fryman, a big turnaround second, but he's going to stop right there. Now he's going to take third as it's misplayed out in center by Estrada. Everybody will move up 90 feet as Fryman's at third and Fusey takes second.
Hard hit ball up the middle for Fusey, and then a big, big mistake from Estrada. As runners wouldn't have even considered moving up the extra base, but he just misplays it out in center field, lets the ball get away from him, maybe just thinking one step ahead there, and it's a costly mistake as now Samford has a couple of runners in scoring position and nobody out.
So Fusey gets credit for his first hit of the night and an advancement to second on Alabama State's second defensive error of the evening, and 1 batter, and that'll be all for Brandon Caples. We will see a new Hornets pitcher after this timeout. Runners on second and third, nobody out as Samford tries to tack on some insurance runs in the bottom of the 7th. This is Samford Bulldog Baseball.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. At Regions, every day is game day.
New pitcher for Alabama State is number 7, Austin Bizzle, the 6'1 senior from Panama City, Florida. Will be the 4th pitcher of the night for Alabama State.
Very, very good numbers for Bizzle, possibly the best pitcher on this Alabama State team. This will be appearance number 20 for the right-hander. He's thrown 46 innings and allowed just 9 earned runs for a 1.76 ERA, 4-0 in the win-loss column, and perhaps most impressive, 48 strikeouts to just 11 walks.
Second time this year that Austin Bizzle has seen Samford. I mentioned he's given up just 9 earned runs this year. 3 of those came against the Samford Bulldogs back on March the 8th. Bizzle lasted just a third of an inning, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits in the 22 pitches that he threw. Alabama State ultimately lost that game by a final score of 10-7, and it looks like they want no part of Austin Edens as Bizzle will throw 4 pitches wide and put Edens aboard at first base. Ball 1 is away, and ball 2 is as well. Bizzle halfway to completing the required 4 outside the zone, so Edens will be aboard at first. A buck will be passed to Taylor Garris, who will have the bases loaded and nobody out, as 3 have missed the zone. Now Austin Edens will draw a walk, number 28 of the year, a team leading number. And the 3-0 is outside as well. Austin Edens will take his baseball 4. So Fryman's at third, Jordan Busey at second, Austin Edens at first, Samford on top by 2. And looking to regain what was at one point a 5-run lead. Taylor Garris looking for his first hit of the night. Bulldogs team leader in batting average at 364 now. 44 hits and 121 at-bats, and a guy who's shown a proclivity for coming through in some big spots. 333 with runners in scoring position so far this year. First pitch swinging. And he comes up empty. It's 0-1.
Yeah, there's an opportunity now for Samford to really put up a crooked number and increase that lead by several runs here in the 7th. Of course, they would settle just for 1 or maybe 2 insurance runs.
0-1, misses outside, evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Garris is a good guy to have at the plate in this position with the bases loaded and nobody out, and he's looking for his first hit tonight.
Bizzle comes set, 1-1 off the plate, away ball 2. Bizzle, fastball slider guy from a similar arm slot that you'll see from Wyatt Burns if he does appear in this game later on tonight. Slider that sweeps across the zone, fastball that moves back towards right-handed hitters. 2-1 from Bizzle. Off the plate, ball 3. Nowhere to put Taylor Garris as a walk forces in the 7th Samford run of the night.
And Bizzle doesn't walk a lot of batters. Only 11 walks in 46 innings. 12 now, counting that intentional walk to Austin Edens.
3-1, hit well, right side, but caroling foul. The count runs full, 3-2.
Garris just trying to find a way to put the ball in play. Do not want to go down swinging. Your job really just to get that man in from third base any way possible.
Payoff pitch to Garris. He fights it off. It's out of play. 3-2 slider from Bizzle there. Shows you how much confidence he's got in that off-speed delivery. Biosic in on the grass over at first. Ocasio double play depth at second. Dunson playing halfway at short. Same with Hernandez, who's about a step and a half behind the bag at third. Payoff pitch once more to Garris. Checks his swing. Did he go around? He did not. It's ball 4, and it forces home a run.
Big insurance run for Samford as the bases remain loaded with nobody out, and an uncharacteristic walk from Bizzle.
Credit Taylor Garris with RBI number 27 on the year, his second free pass that he's drawn tonight. Samford's lead now back to 3. 7-1 Samford. 7-4 Samford, I should say. Bases still loaded, still nobody out. For a guy near the top of the conference in home runs, Kevin Williams Jr. First pitch slider in there for a called strike 1. Williams Jr. 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI double back in the 3rd. Pops this one up right side. That'll get out of play. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Williams Jr. 4th in the conference in home runs as the 0-2 misses well outside. The count runs to 1-2. His 31 RBIs so far this year lead the team. Bases full of Bulldogs. Bizzle comes set. The 1-2 on the way. Off the plate, ball 2. Williams Jr. 1 for 2 this year with the bases loaded. As he digs in, ready for 2-2. Slider downstairs, ball 3. Once again, nowhere to put Kevin Williams Jr. Bizzle's got to find the zone or force in the second Bulldog run of the frame. Bizzle comes set. Payoff pitch to Williams Jr. Chopped on the ground, third base side, off the glove of Hernandez. His throw, no, he won't throw it. Everybody's safe. Hernandez leapt to keep it on the infield, but couldn't come up with it cleanly, and everybody will take a free 90 feet.
And really a nice play from Hernandez to keep that from going into left field. That ball took such a high bounce, it looked like it was going to get over his head and into left field, in which case at least one more run would have come around to score. But as it is, Samford brings in another one. They'll lead back out to 4. Still nobody out, and still the bases loaded.
And a guy who's had some serious pop tonight, Ayrton Schaefer, steps in and takes a first pitch slider off the plate away, ball 1. Schaefer 2 for 2 tonight. He's reached base 3 out of 3. Drew a walk in his first plate appearance. Just missed a home run by give or take a foot and a half in dead center back in the 3rd. Instead, that was a 2 RBI double and then a solo home run in his last at-bat in the 6th. Guy who's seeing the ball really, really well tonight and finds himself at the plate in another big spot. One ball, no strikes. The count to the freshman designated hitter from Collierville, Tennessee. 1-0 to Schaefer, another slider, and that is on the outside corner to even it up 1-1. Maybe a bit of a break there for Bizzle. You don't usually see a strike called when your catcher behind home plate can't come up with it cleanly. But it evens up at 1 apiece. 1-1 from Bizzle. Down in the dirt, good take by Schaefer. It's 2-1.
Yeah, pretty apparent that Bizzle does not have his grade A stuff tonight, as he is struggling with his location, falling behind Samford batters.
2-1 to Schaefer. Hit well into the right center field gap. It's going to fall in for a hit as Cox is over to cut it off. 1 run will score. Garris gets the wave around. He'll score as well as the throw comes into 3rd. It's a 2 RBI single for Ayrton Schaefer, and the Dogs' lead has opened up to 5 runs.
What a night at the plate for Schaefer, the Samford designated hitter. 3 for 3 with 5 RBIs and a run scored.
Ayrton Schaefer continues to have himself a night at the plate. A 2 RBI single opens up Samford's lead to 5, make it 6, as the Dogs' offense is in double figures. 10 runs on 10 hits, and nobody still retired in the bottom of the 7th as the inning continues. 4 hits in the frame for the Samford offense, and that'll be all for Austin Bizzle. Alabama State will go back to the bullpen once more in the frame, and we will take another timeout. Introduce the new Alabama State arm on the other side. This is Samford Bulldog Baseball.
These are the student athletes. This is where they train. These are their homes. This is where they become Rhodes Scholars and academic All-Americans. These are the athletes they've always admired. This is where champions are crowned and moments are made. This is the Southern Conference.
Been a rough bottom of the 7th for Alabama State pitchers as Robles started it. Then Caples came in, couldn't get his man. Then Bizzle came in, couldn't get anybody he faced either. And now the 4th pitcher of the frame is number 20, Chase Laney, the 6'4 junior from Millbrook, Alabama.
16th appearance of the season for Laney, 30 2/3 innings pitched, 12 earned runs on 34 hits for a 352 earned run average, 16 strikeouts to just 5 walks.
Guy who did not start the final game against Scrambling, but went 7 1/3 in his last outing just 3 days ago. Gave up 1 run on 5 hits. Anthony Mulrine digs in against the sidewinder, shows bunt, pulls it back. It's ball one. Williams Jr. at second, Schaefer at first. Anthony Mulrine trying to join the hit parade. One of three guys in the lineup held hitless so far tonight. Taylor Garris and Troy Dixon, the other two. Samford's offense has pounded out 10 runs on 10 hits. Laney comes set. Mulrine turns and squares early. Laney still looks at second. Now comes home. The 1-0. Mulrine pulls back the bunt attempt and takes a strike one. Chris Biosic charging for first. Better be careful. He ended up about 25 feet away from home plate as Mulrine pulled back the bunt attempt. Biosic charging from first. Hernandez in on the grass at third, but didn't charge when Mulrine showed bunt on the last delivery. 1-1. Mulrine squares and can't get the bunt down. Actually, it got it down, and it hit him before he could get it out of the box. That's strike two. Could have been worse. Could have hit him when he was out of the box, and then Mulrine would have been called out. And I believe that is going to be the argument coming from Alabama State head coach Jose Vasquez as he makes his way out of the third base dugout to talk to home plate umpire Tracy Cheek.
Yeah, it was pretty close. I do think that it got a piece of him while he was in the box, and I don't see that call being overturned.
Tough call, judgment call, kind of a bang-bang call there for Tracy Cheek. He's probably not going to get a whole lot of help from his guys out in the field either, who are give or take 90, 95 feet away from the play. So Mulrine stays alive, counts 1-2. See if the bunt's still on with Mulrine down in the count. Biosic over at first backs up. He's still on the grass, but has backed up 3 or 4 steps. And time called as Mulrine will step out. Laney on the rubber, comes set. Williams Jr. at second, Schaefer at first. 1-2 on the way to Mulrine, no bunt. Instead, he rips it into left. It falls in fair down towards the corner. Williams Jr. is going to score. Schaefer digs for third, and he'll stop right there as Anthony Mulrine cruises into second with an extra base hit.
And the hit parade just continues for the Samford Bulldogs. 7 straight batters now have reached to begin this bottom half of the 7th, and that lead, as large as it has been all night, a 7-run lead at 11-4.
Samford 11 runs on 11 hits now as Anthony Mulrine has indeed joined the hit parade with the extra base hit. That is his 6th double of the year. Troy Dixon, the 9-hole, takes the first pitch outside for ball one. Dixon looking for his first hit of the night, reached via an error in the third. In fact, he's hit ground balls all night. Ground ball to second in his first at-bat, ground ball to short in his second at-bat, and a ground ball to second in his third at-bat. 1-0 is outside once more. The count 2 balls and no strikes. 5 runs on 5 hits for the Samford offense in the bottom of the 7th, and they have scored in bunches so far tonight. 5 runs in the third and a 5 spot here in this frame. 2-0, that is inside corner, make it 2-1. 5-5 with a solo shot off the bat of Schaefer in the 6th. Add up to 11 Samford runs.
A little bit similar to last night as they had a couple of 2 spots, but then they had 3 huge innings, 8 runs in the 2nd, 9 in the 6th, and 7 in the 7th last night against Alabama A&M.
3-1 now the count to Troy Dixon as he has taken 1 strike on the inner half and 3 off the plate away. Laney has to come to him on 3-1 or put him on base, and he puts him on. Troy Dixon draws his 17th walk of the year, and still nobody out in the bottom of the 7th as Samford has reloaded the bases. And the 9th hitter of the inning coming to the plate is TJ Dixon, as Samford has completed 4 trips through the order.
Center fielder, T.J. Dixon.
So T.J. Dixon the ninth batter of the inning and trying to bat around without recording an out right now. This is the Samford offense. Impressive showing here in the bottom half of the 7th.
Dixon takes in there for a call and strike 1. Inning started with Brandon Fryman. He reached for the single, then a single from Fusey, a walk to Edens, a walk to Garris, a single for Williams Jr., a single for Schaefer, a double for Mulrine, a walk to Troy Dixon. Now TJ Dixon finds himself down 0-2. TJ a perfect 3 for 3 so far this year with the bases loaded. Schaefer at third, Mulrine at second, Troy Dixon at first. 0-2 fought off left side and foul as it was in off the fist. Samford led 5-0 after 3, 5-1 after 4, 6-4 after 6, and now lead 11-4 in the bottom of the 7th with plenty more chances to add. Laney comes across his body. 0-2 once more is off the plate away. Count runs to 1-2.
Alabama State has used 4 pitchers in this inning and still unable to record a single out as Samford already has a 5 spot.
1-2 hit well towards left. Will it stay fair? It won't. It'll curl just foul into the Alabama State bullpen.
If that stays fair and lands on or around the line in fair territory and rolls towards that bullpen, it's very likely to clear the bases.
Instead, it goes just a bit foul. Another right-hander is up and ready in the Alabama State pen. Dixon readies himself for another 1-2 offering. Laney comes with it. This is fouled off left side again. Dixon 1 for 4 tonight. RBI double that almost got out of here back in the 3rd. A couple of ground balls and also a fly ball to his ledger. 1-2 again. This is hit well and fair into the left field corner. 2 runs are going to score as Dixon's on his horse around 3rd. He's going to get the wave. It'll clear the bases as TJ digs for 3. The throw is going to be laid. A head-first slide into 3rd base is a 3 RBI triple for TJ Dixon. And Samford's lead continues to grow. It's 14-4 Samford.
Ball placed perfectly down the left field line. We talked about how on that foul ball it was just a few feet away from landing fair and clearing the bases. That one does land fair and does clear the bases. And one thing that's really fun to watch about TJ Dixon, not just his speed and his defense, but his ability to hit to all fields is now, we've seen him go down the right field line and the left field line.
Samford extends their lead to 10 runs, 14-4, and it looks like the 10-run rule is in effect tonight. That is our ball game in the bottom of the 7th. Samford 14, Alabama State 4 as the Dogs send 9 hitters to the plate in the bottom of the 7th and score 8 runs on 6 hits to take a 14-4 win tonight against the Hornets. And Samford's offense, after a coming-out party last night against Alabama A&M, slowed down very little tonight as they put together 2 huge innings, 5 runs in the 3rd, 8 here in the 7th to close out a 14-4 victory.
Yeah, another great offensive performance from the Bulldogs. The second night in the row that they've been swinging the bats and seeing positive results as 14 runs on 12 hits. And as you mentioned, batting around in the 7th inning and not recording a single out. Certainly some positive momentum for the Bulldogs heading into another conference series this weekend here at Joe Lee Griffin Field when they host Western Carolina.
Coca-Cola postgame show coming up next. We'll head downstairs to talk to Samford head coach Casey Dunn on the other side of this timeout. This is Samford Bulldog Baseball.
We are the Southern Conference.
And it's on us to stop sexual assault on our college campuses.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a teammate or friend home safe.
To not blame the victim.
We are the Southern Conference.
And it's on us to look out for each other on our campuses.
To not turn a blind eye.
To intervene when something isn't right.
We are the Southern Conference.
And it's on us to stand up.
to step in,
to take responsibility.
We are the Southern Conference, and we take the pledge to stop sexual assault.
It's on us, all of us, to make a difference on our campuses.
Join us and take the pledge to be a part of the solution at itsonus.org.
Canadian bacon, Italian sausage, Spanish olives. It's like having the whole world in your hands and then in your mouth.
Order the Works Pizza or any large pizza for just $12. That's right, just $12 for any large pizza. Order now at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.